Senator Ukraine Marie Yovanovitch is supposed to go to the House to be questioned.
And what is being described as a transcribed interview, not the traditional hearing or deposition, which is governed by separate rules. We won't know for sure if she's actually going to show until it happens, given the administration pulled the EU ambassador. You remember earlier this week, Sondland, we have learned, by the way, is now expected to appear for a transcribed interview as well next week.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins. The Nobel Peace Prize has just been awarded. Fox's Simon Owen tells us who won live.
Dave, the Peace Prize awarded to Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed
for his efforts to achieve peace and international cooperation.
The Norwegian Nobel Committee praising a peace deal with neighbouring Eritrea, an agreement which reunited families after decades of separation. Judges saying many of Abiy's reforms are still works in progress, but
it is now that Abiy Ahmed's efforts deserve recognition and need encouragement.
Abiy's office saying, we're proud as a nation. Dave?
America's listening to Fox News.
Skies are cloudy, 67 degrees, and some light rain showers out there at 5:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chances are we've already seen the warmest part of this day across northern Illinois and northwest Indiana. Forecasters say temps will fall throughout the day today. High expected to be in the mid-60s, but that was about midnight this morning. By noon today, it will be in the 40s. Temperatures will drop into the 30s by late in the day. Exelon, the power company behind ComEd, says a new public filing reports that they have received a second federal subpoena asking about lobbying in Illinois and communications with a state senator whose office were recently raided by the FBI. The Securities and Exchange Commission filing says last week's subpoena requires production of records of any communication with certain individuals and entities, including State Senator Marty Sandoval. Grand jury issued the first set of subpoenas over the summer. Clock is ticking for the Chicago Teachers Union and the city to reach a contract agreement before next week's looming strike date. He did say the union will not be pressured into accepting a last-minute offer and meeting reporters. CTU President Jesse Sharkey.
The truth of the matter is I can't put out a notice for our delegates to come in at midnight, have people meet at 4 in the morning, and then get ready to turn around or 2 in the morning and then turn around and teach at 6 in the morning. That's not the way that's going to work. We're going to need some time to read it.
CTU President Sharkey saying not enough progress was made in negotiations yesterday. 2 teens are wounded following a shooting outside the River Oaks Center Mall in Calumet City. A 17-year-old boy and 18-year-old woman were both shot last night, both hospitalized with serious injuries. Chicago police officer is recovering after he was struck by a police vehicle while chasing a gun suspect on the west side. Officers were monitoring a gang funeral yesterday on South Drake when they saw someone toss a gun out of a car. Officers tried to curb that vehicle, but the driver took off. One of the officers tried to chase down the car on foot, but was hit by a responding police vehicle. The officer is hospitalized in good condition. 2 suspects were arrested. 2 remain at large. Mayor Lightfoot is considering raising ride-hailing fees for solo passengers in congested areas as part of her 2020 budget. Meeting with reporters yesterday, the mayor said she was thinking about charging more for single riders and giving a break to those who carpool. Authorities in Indiana say they've recovered more fetal remains in vehicles belonging to a doctor who stored over 2,000 fetal remains at a home. Attorney General Curtis Hill says Dr. Ulrich Klopfer abandoned the vehicles at a property years before his death.
When looking at the vehicles, there did not appear to be anything of unusual inside the vehicles, but they did discover in one vehicle's trunk.
Klopfer passed away in early September. Governor Jay Pritzker plans to push legislation this month to combine municipal fire and police pensions into 2 massive funds. Pritzker unveiled the task force report yesterday in Chicago recommending combining 649 pension accounts outside of Cook County into 2 totaling more than $14 billion in assets. Many of those municipal police and fire pensions are fully funded and working just fine, according to experts who analyze those pensions. Pritzker also wants the task force to continue studying tougher pension problems. 9 in Chicago and Cook County funds with a gap of $44 billion. From the history pages today, in 1892, on this day, the first long-distance telephone line between Chicago and New York was formally opened. And it is a big day in the newsroom for one of our favorite musicians. Robert Lamb turns 75 today. Of course, you know Robert, a member of the group Chicago, member of the Songwriters Hall of Fame, attending Roosevelt University. He was invited to join the band that would become Chicago in 1967 and wrote and arranged this song in 1969. Yes, that's Beginnings from the 1969 debut album for Chicago. And yes, that cool acoustic guitar was played by Terry Kath. Here's the backstory to this song. That song failed to chart in the Hot 100 on initial release. It had to be re-released as a 45, along with Color My World, in 1971. Both then climbed into the top 10 for months in the summer of 71. Great song. Chicago sports, Blackhawks led early but often and then fell to the Sharks in the home opener, final 5-4. Hawks head coach Jeremy Colleton says his goalie needs better support as the Hawks host Winnipeg tomorrow. Bulls visit the Pacers tonight in the preseason. Frank Menchio is the new hitting coach of the White Sox, and the Fighting Illini welcome number 16 Michigan to Champaign tomorrow. 5:07 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Tickets for Freedom Summit 2019 sold out in record time in response to the high demand. We've opened up an overflow room for attendees to watch the event on Saturday, November 2nd at the Westin Chicago Northwest. Overflow tickets are on sale now, but are selling fast. Get yours at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Clear Financial Strategies, Tom Miraboli, independent health insurance agent with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Monarch Technical, and by Charles Equipment Energy Systems.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but you thought it'd be too hard or take too much time? Then go to Babbel.com, download the app, and try it for free. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. And right now, you can try Babbel for free. Babbel starts out teaching you words and phrases by matching them with pictures. You won't believe how easy the interactive program is. Soon the sentences get a little bigger, and before you know it, you're having simulated conversations voiced by native speakers. And because Babbel is crafted by language experts and uses the spaced repetition method, in just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking the language of your choice with real confidence. With Babbel, you can speak a language. Just go to Babbel.com and start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Download the Babbel app or go to Babbel.com and try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
Townstone Financial is synonymous with great rates, low closing costs, and phenomenal service to the thousands who have completed purchases and refinances with us since 2002. Hi, my name is Barry Sterner, owner of Townstone Financial. Let's hear from Jim, who just completed a no-cost refinance with Townstone Financial.
I would recommend Townstone to anybody, and I do. I always knew where we were. I knew the dates. I knew when I had to have information. There was no fire drills. The overall experience was, off the charts. I've not experienced, there's very few companies that I've encountered that really deliver that customer experience, and that's what sets you guys apart, hands down.
Remember, nobody values your business more than Townstone Financial, and I'm always available to answer your questions. Call me now at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110, or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, NMLS 136639, www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org, Equal Housing Lender.
Show your four-legged best friend how much you care with Invisible Fence brand's Boundary Plus technology. With Invisible Fence, your pet gets access to the whole yard, and you don't have to worry about escapes. Go to invisiblefence.com and save $315. Invisiblefence.com.
5:10. The news, a service of Discover. Discover matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year automatically. No limit to how much they'll match. Millions a year are getting their cashback match. Discover Cashback Match What are you waiting for? Learn more at discover.com/cashbackmatch. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Telemonte.
On the inbound Eisenhower this Friday morning, the entrance ramp from eastbound North Avenue should be opening shortly. It's been closed for overnight work. The Eisenhower right now is wet, but otherwise okay. Same goes for the Kennedy. Express lanes are closed. They too should open shortly on the inbound side. Seeing some road work delays on the Indiana Toll Road eastbound from the West Point Toll Plaza to Klein Avenue. There's work in the left lane. Westbound, it's heavy from Klein to Indianapolis Boulevard. Downtown, Ida B. Wells is blocked off between Michigan and Columbus for marathon setup. This is in addition to the closures of Balboa, Jackson, and Columbus. The marathon is Sunday morning. That's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
Clouds breezy, cooler today. Showers, thunderstorms, high 64. Temperatures fall to the 40s. Partly cloudy, breezy, chilly tonight, low 33. Sun and clouds tomorrow and Sunday, windy and cooler, high both days 52. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
67 O'Hare, 66 Lakefront. Temperatures will fall today. Your next news update, 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head, comb it over, wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real, natural-looking hair back permanently. They're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts MORE to 85850. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text MORE to 85850. That's MORE to 85850.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Larry Nora, founder and CEO of U-Store-It, a network of award-winning self-storage facilities in the Chicago area, and a customer of Signature Bank. We've developed over 70 storage centers throughout the city and suburbs, and our business continues to grow. We need a bank who understands the neighborhoods and communities where we are making investments. We found that in Signature Bank. They know this city and its neighborhoods because they are based right here in Chicago. Finding a local banking institution like Signature Bank has been critical to the success of U-Store-It, and we look forward to a long-term relationship.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
I do not like the tense Amy. Don't like it.
Good Friday morning.
Relax.
Oh, boy. Amy Jacobson here with Sean from Elmwood Park. Or we've elevated you to Sean Thompson. Do you have a name?
I believe I am incorporating my last name now, yeah.
You are? Yeah. So when you've been filling in, during the 5 and 7
I don't
spot.
fill in, Toots. It's my show, baby. Fill in.
I don't know if it's officially your show yet, but when you
is when I do it. The
are
slap and
on
tickle
the air
Chicago drive time.
from 5 to 7, are you Sean Thompson or are you Sean from Elmwood Park?
I kind of I don't even address it. It's just the Slap and Tickle Chicago Drive Time Show with your host, me.
The Slap and Tickle?
Slap and Tickle Drive Time Chicago. We slap away the propaganda. We have a good time doing it. Slap, tickle.
Oh.
Where's your mind at in the gutter with the red ball in your mouth, for God's sakes?
I wasn't sure. Well, Dan's off today because he's doing his long run to get ready for the Chicago Marathon on Sunday. I don't know if you know that.
Is that what he told you he's doing?
Wait, what did he tell
I
you?
got
that he's
500,
doing?
says he ain't doing that. I can tell you right now. He's groggy, waiting for a tea time. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, no, he's in Michigan with his buddies. It's a brocation.
Yeah.
You know, or a mancation or whatever you guys
They're all
call it.
waking up to the song "It's Raining Men," chasing each other around with towels. I don't know who he's kidding. It isn't me. Northwestern. A lot of guys hanging around there.
Well, but thanks for filling in today. You
Yeah,
look very nice.
Thank
You're
you.
very clean.
But why don't you tell the
Very
people?
clean.
Why don't you tell, as opposed to Dan? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, there are certain smells some days that you wonder, you know.
Why don't you tell the
going
people
on.
how unhappy you were when you found out it was me? Just come on. I don't like to hide anything from the audience here at 560 The Answer.
It's not anything against you personally.
Yeah, if I had a quarter every time. If I had a quarter every time a conversation started out like that. Go ahead.
But I love Bruce Wolf. And I think because people hear from you already from 5 to 7, so I thought maybe get Bruce Wolf's take on certain things. And he's sports-minded too. We have a lot going on with the NBA because the NBA has issued another apology, folks, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah, but I'm philosophically minded, which is better than sports-minded. Although I do love Bruce.
You
know
do.
I do.
I know. So
Love
I just, I'm working for Bruce for hopefully working on them letting Bruce fill in during Christmas time because we always do our Christmas songs. And can you sing?
Can I sing? I don't sing, baby.
Try just sing no.
I don't
in the key of G.
sing.
Just
I
close your
don't
eyes, take a deep breath, and try it. Just sing
no.
No. Now say no. Come on.
No.
Okay, a little louder.
No.
Now you just
We're not singing on the air. What are you nuts? This is what makes me turn the station. For God's sakes, just can we get to the point?
And the point is, Trump had a rally last night. His first rally since this impeachment probe has been going on, and it was off the rails. Did you watch it? It was almost 3 hours long.
Of course I didn't watch it. I watched excerpts. But here's the thing. I have an issue with rallies in general, all right, because rallies are very specific. Because one thing that happens in a rally, people do things in the company of others they normally wouldn't do. They behave in a way they normally wouldn't do. There's a reason, though, that you have pep rallies. And I find it, I find it to be degrading to the philosophy of republicanism. I really do. I'm dead serious. I think it's
Well, it's not only you look at the crowd and whether they're Republicans or Democrats, they both sides look a little off.
Rallies
if
are
you,
made.
If you don't mind me, the only thing, the best part of last night's rally though was Minnesota cops or police officers, excuse me, wanted to wear their uniforms, and the police chief of Minneapolis said, absolutely not. You cannot go to the Trump rally off duty wearing your uniform and carrying. So they wore these Minnesota cops shirts that were red, and they're standing behind the president. And that was cool.
Normally when cops wear their uniforms and they're not on duty, it's to get free stuff. Yeah, I see you out there, the line at McDonald's and Starbucks. So protect and serve. You're looking for a free something.
But it was a great time for President Trump to hit back against his critics and against the Democrats who want to impeach him.
They want to erase your vote like it never existed. They want to erase your voice, and they want to erase your future. But they will fail because in America, the people rule again.
And that's all this is they're still bitter about 2016. And he talked about that.
Which way do you want to look at it? Because to me, it's a couple different things. There's a reason that this is going on right now at this point. And what I'm telling you is that I think that this pep rally was done to invoke more of an emotion than a thought, right? And I get it. But here's the thing. You know what hurts me about this whole time in our history right now?
What?
I was under the impression that our side of the aisle stood for something more than this nonsense. I really was. And I get...
Are you still an anti-Trumper?
No, I'm not an anti-anything. I'm an anti-stupid.
Well, you're a libertarian.
No, I'm not.
You're not a libertarian?
I really hate the idea that we have to be categorized like this. Listen, I believe in the individuality and the covenant that America gave its citizen. I'm the only one, apparently. Nobody else does. And what you're seeing from these two sides is a certain virtue shield to really become very fascistic in policy. And I find that nauseating.
Fascistic. I had that with my pizza last night.
You're telling me how to sing. It's fascistic. And when a guy from Melrose Park is telling you how to talk, there's a problem, Toots.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. Let's go to our good friend Chuck, who joins us from Delavan. Good morning, Chuck.
Chuck, what's up, buddy?
Hey, hey, nice. Hey, good morning.
Hey, you know, you're talking about different uniforms and everything. When the Chicago cops get the white shirt, they give them that. That's not because they're a captain. It's because they've eaten 100,000 donuts. Sean, I got to tell you something. I've heard you on the show before. The other day, I had my cheerleading skirt on for you.
Thank you.
And I don't put it on at all, ever. And I couldn't believe you came out of the gate like a quarter horse, man. You were going wild. I was sitting there. I was like, I couldn't believe, because when you're on with Dan and Amy, they always slow you down, or with Bruce, they slow you down.
Yeah.
I could not believe so. Congratulations, and good luck with whatever you're
Chuck,
doing.
that means a lot to me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you and I will tend to disagree on certain specific issues, but we do agree on the philosophy of America. And that, to me, is what a show is supposed to be, to me, when I do a show.
Yes.
So I think it's important. So I appreciate that
All right,
very
thanks,
much.
Chuck.
A compliment from somebody who
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See, Amy, a compliment from somebody who totally agrees with you doesn't mean anything. Compliment from somebody who often doesn't agree with you, that means something to me.
Oh, look at you. The warm and fuzzy side of Sean Thompson. Craig joins us from Mount Greenwood. Good morning, Craig.
Hey, good morning, Amy, and good morning, Sean. I hear you all the time. I used to really like you a lot more and everything like that, because you're a good guy. I like the way you say things and everything. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, there's a little aspect of this issue with Trump you don't understand. But we'll talk about that later. Hey, listen, the rally last night, Trump showed something, man. You can see his sincerity. He's not like other politicians where he's got to phony up around to basically talk to his base and everything like that. He is comfortable with his base. He basically took off at least one glove. Maybe both gloves are off now.
Oh, yeah.
And taking in.
Thanks, Craig. And the person he wants to run against, obviously, is Joe Biden.
He was only a good vice president because he understood how to kiss Barack Obama's ass.
It's important that you keep playing that.
No, I'm sorry. You know what? It's the crowd music.
No, the reason I say it's important is listen to the crowd. There's a reason. See, where Craig and I
energetic.
Why Craig doesn't like me is that I point out how this is very, very Machiavellian in a very, very base way to rally emotion rather than thought.
And President Trump, he barely won Minnesota in 2016, and he takes it to where the enemy is. He's in Omar's district. Yeah. You know Omar.
How do you have such a person representing you in Minnesota? I'm very angry at you people right now.
And he turned around. Angry. I'm angry at all of you.
She is a disgrace to our country, and she is one of the big reasons that I'm going to win and the Republican Party is going to win Minnesota in 13 months.
Just more cheering. Just your favorite thing.
Clips are we going to listen to? Because here's my thing: you compare that to the intellectual articulation of Ronald Reagan. Compare the two, and there is no comparison, because this compares to that it's the echo chamber warrior. There's not one Minnesotan in that room that voted for who he's complaining about. Not one. So he's not discussing the philosophical difference. This is invoking that carnal rage, and it is WrestleMania. So this is the reality of it. I don't want to be the victim of a fascistic leadership on either side. I'm rare in that. It's a very small window. And the problem is the people who like me and then say they don't like me now is because these are the things I raged against when it was on the other side doing it to me.
Right.
Right? So I don't agree with a lot. Now, here's the thing. I do agree with a lot of what Trump does. Love what he did in Syria. I'm not kidding you.
Ugh. Well, we'll discuss that later, too. And Bret Baier is going to be joining us at the 7 o'clock hour.
Discuss it. So there are certain things that you take the specificity of the issue and you like or dislike. But the idea that we wrap ourselves up in this demagoguery is nauseating.
Well,
we're better than that, aren't we? Or no, we're not.
I always think that, I've watched almost all of Trump's rallies, at least bits and pieces. But last night I actually learned something, and it hit home. And that's when Trump talked about minutes after he was inaugurated, they went after him. 19 minutes. Listen.
Do you remember that just 19 minutes after I raised my hand and took the oath of office, the Washington Post, a terrible newspaper, that doesn't know how to write the truth published a story, and in this case, they might have gotten it pretty correct. They said the campaign to impeach President Trump has begun. That was the headline. Little did we know they weren't playing games.
That's how it's supposed to be. It's a contentious government. It's set up to be contentious. And I love that it's contentious. Can you imagine if they would have rubber stamped the $2 trillion that Trump wanted already, that we're losing $600 billion every 90 days? That's going on our debt that we don't talk about anymore. So I like when it's contentious. I want them always fighting each other. That's the only regulation you have in government, is when they're watching the other side to see who the scumbag is.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hi, this is Dan Frio with the Mortgage Update. Daily you hear guys on the radio going back and forth about how they're better than the other guy, and then you hear how their team can help you buy or refinance a home. But answer this: are they a direct lender who has the ability to approve, underwrite, and close your loan? I am. Are they a middleman who's at the mercy of another company? I'm not. When you call, do you speak with the person who's telling you how great they are? Or are you talking to a salesperson? Not me. You work with me personally. And last, I put my money where my mouth is. I offer an exclusive rate match program for those times when I don't have the best rate. So to work with me personally, call 844-775-LOAN. That's 844-775-LOAN, or find me on the web at windmortgage.com. That's windmortgage.com.
Parkside Lending, LLC is an Illinois residential mortgage licensee and an equal housing lender. NMLS 176162.
It's happening. Wherever cupcakes are being frosted, songs are being recorded, and engines are being tuned, ADP is designing a better way to work. With industry-leading HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll, more companies rely on ADP than any other HR partner. From small business to global enterprise. See how ADP can help you and your people achieve what you're working for at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Yoto, my office, now! Limu, Doug, you're being transferred across town.
Oh, because they haven't heard that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
No, it's because Limu keeps eating the chips on Janine's desk. And her keyboard, and her expense reports, and her stress balls, and her...
Liberty. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Imagine your son excited to go to school each day, a school where he gets to throw snowballs and play tag, where his teachers understand that boys learn differently, and where he gets the one-on-one advice he needs to become a man of character. Dan Proft here for Northridge Prep. I have friends who send their sons there. Two things they love. First, at Northridge Prep, every teacher is a role model. Through the advisory program, all students have a faculty mentor who looks out for your son like an older brother. They have regular conversations about being tough and generous and setting goals. Second, Northridge Prep's common sense approach to cell phones. Cell phones are powerful tools, but they don't belong in school. 0 distractions, 0 cell phones. My friends appreciate how much more social and outgoing their sons are at school. It's a paper and pen approach that just works. If you have a son in school, I urge you not to miss Northridge Prep's open house on Sunday, October 20th. Register online at northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the NBA apologizes yet again and they make a change while they're in China. Plus, a moral conundrum as a coach that, Sean, I'd like some advice from you.
I would too. What's with the PS Chicago music? What happened here? We jump back to 1997? Come on.
Now let's head into the newsroom. Good morning to the one and only Mike Scott.
I'll just play Chicago all morning long like
All
we
right.
did in the 5 o'clock newscast, and we'll be good. 67 degrees outside. Temperatures will tumble throughout the day. An entire city is part of a mandatory evacuation at this hour due to a fast-moving and destructive wildfire burning north of Los Angeles in the Granada Hills area. President Trump says the House impeachment probe will cause a backlash in the 2020 election.
The Democrats' brazen attempt To overthrow our government will produce a backlash at the ballot box, the likes of which they have never, ever seen before in the history of this country.
That at a rally in Minnesota last night, Republican Senator Cory Gardner says he wants a bipartisan approach to investigate President Trump's phone call with the president of Ukraine, but feels a House impeachment inquiry is not giving him a fair shake.
If you look what Al Green in Texas, member of Congress, has said, we need to impeach President Trump now because we might not be able to beat him in November. That's about politics. That's not what the serious investigation should be about.
Former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine is scheduled to testify in the House impeachment inquiry of the president. Maria Yovanovitch is a career diplomat abruptly recalled from Ukraine in May. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali has been awarded the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize.
Nobel Committee has decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize for 2019 to Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali.
In doing so, he beat out the favorite New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. GM wants round-the-clock contract talks with the UAW to try and resolve the strike that began on September 15. Exelon says a new public filing that it and its Chicago area electric utility ComEd have received a second subpoena, a federal subpoena this time, asking about lobbying in Illinois and communications with State Senator Marty Sandoval, whose offices were recently raided by the FBI. 2 teens wounded following a shooting outside the River Oaks Center Mall in south suburban Calumet City. An ex-employee of a suburban Chicago manufacturing company has been convicted of stealing trade secrets, trying to transfer them to a new job in China, and has been sentenced to a year in prison. Robert O'Rourke of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, was convicted in March in U.S. District Court of downloading without permission documents belonging to Durabar, a producer of cast iron products. The metallurgist and salesman in 2015 resigned his post at the Woodstock Company, where he had worked since 1984. Federal investigators arrested O'Rourke in September of 2015 when he was heading to O'Hare to catch a flight to China and seized the stolen trade secrets. It's a big day for White Sox television announcer Jason Benetti. He'll be featured this weekend on CBS Sunday Morning. The play-by-play broadcaster will reflect on achieving his childhood dream of being a play-by-play announcer for the White Sox while living with cerebral palsy. Benetti joined the Sox in 2016 and became the main TV announcer in 2019 after the retirement of Hawk Harrelson. Blackhawks led early and throughout the game, but in the end fell to the Sharks in their home opener 5-4. Blackhawks host Winnipeg tomorrow night. Bulls visit the Pacers tonight in the preseason. 5:33 is our time, and we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Tickets for Freedom Summit 2019 sold out in record time in response to the high demand. We've opened up an overflow room for attendees to watch the event on Saturday, November 2nd at the Westin Chicago Northwest. Overflow tickets are on sale now, but are selling fast. Get yours at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Clear Financial Strategies, Tom Mirabali, independent health insurance agent with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Monarch Technical, and by Charles Equipment Energy Systems.
Have you Googled yourself or business? Did you find negative content? If so, your reputation and business are suffering. Forbes reports with 2 negative articles, you risk losing 44% of new business. At Fix Your Name, we can hide or remove negative content. Request the Reputation Guide free. Call 877-FIX-NAME. That's 877-FIX-NAME. 877-FIX-NAME. Or visit fixyourname.com.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results vary. Exclusions apply.
Contacts and glasses are such a hassle. I'd love to finally get LASIK, but
I'm going to stop you right there. If you want LASIK, then the LASIK Vision Institute has officially taken away everything standing in your way.
Isn't LASIK expensive?
Not at the LASIK Vision Institute. We're offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. See for free if LASIK is right for you by texting TOP to 350350.
But I'm really busy.
A text only takes seconds. The LASIK procedure typically only takes 15 minutes, and most patients can get back to work the following day. The LASIK Vision Institute uses the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision. Dr. Greenberg has performed 75,000 LASIK surgeries and is one of the most experienced LASIK surgeons in Chicago. And we're offering 20% off our already low-cost services.
What's that text again?
Text TOP to 350350. That's TOP to 350350 to schedule your free consultation today.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. We know how important it is to take a partner in the passenger seat when you're on a long road trip. You need a trusted friend and a voice to help you navigate through the hills and valleys of your journey. We want to be that voice for you on your road to retirement.
Absolutely. Our whole team at Wealth Management Group will be by your side for the long haul.
Let Wealth Management Group be your compass and your guide to retirement.
Find us at investwithwmg.com and tune in each week to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
5:36 AM 560 traffic center time. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Traffic on the inbound Stevenson Expressway is now heavy from Lamont Road to Cass and Ashland to the right. It's 38 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Allow some extra time this morning with the wet conditions. Edens is okay. Kennedy outbound. The exit to Demon is blocked. Downed light pole right now. Speeds are reduced on the Kennedy, but traffic volume is not too heavy yet. The Eisenhower getting a little congested around Des Plaines Avenue. Inbound Ryan, traffic slows approaching downtown Chicago. Inbound Bishop Ford, there's a 4-minute delay for 111th to merge. The Illinois tollways look fine. Some road work is ramped up on the Indiana Toll Road. We'll have a little residual congestion in Hammond. And that's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Cloudy, breezy, getting much cooler by midday. Could have a shower or thunderstorm through the morning. A high of 64. Partly cloudy, breezy, and chilly overnight for your high school football. Low of 33. 66 degrees right now. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by CharlesEquipment.com, keeping you powered up no matter what the conditions.
The nuclear. This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
PTSD!
On AM 560.
I'll have what she's having.
The Answer.
That's how I feel this morning. Welcome back, Amy Jacobson, Sean Thomas. Thompson.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I never even use it. She gets it wrong.
I mean, I make out with you and I don't even know your name.
It's
I mean,
outrageous.
what's going on?
Name.
Sean Thompson. I'll just call you Sean from Elmwood Park. Are we trying to erase that moniker?
No, I don't
all
care.
Right, okay.
I'm proud of it all. Proud of it all.
So we were talking during the break about I coach about 5 different girls teams, volleyball teams right now, and I got an email yesterday.
Mike Scott just looks through the window with his jacket on. Go ahead.
He attends all the games. Got an email yesterday. Hi, Coach Amy. I was wondering if I could wear a pink headband and maybe pink socks at the game tomorrow to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay.
And this fried you in some manner?
Yeah, because I've always been against the NFL wearing pink because it's all about the NFL. Do you know that they've made billions of dollars selling pink jerseys with players' names on it? I mean, it's a whole side hustle. And they say they're giving money to the Susan G. Komen Foundation, which they are giving some funds to.
And then she gives it to Planned Parenthood.
Right. Yeah, but not all of it. So follow the money. And also, too, when I watch sports on Sunday, I just want to watch the game. I don't want to be reminded about causes or, oh, gosh, the greatest killer of women is not breast cancer. It's heart disease, and then lung disease, and then breast cancer.
See, why don't you just do what I do? Refuse to watch grown men in costumes.
I can't. I mean, you got to check your man card. How are you?
Ridiculous.
You don't
it's
watch
moronic.
Sports.
In fact, I think it's only for women. I respect that you watch them running around with their tight trousers on. I get it, but it's ridiculous for other men to do it.
Oh, man.
And if men in America paid less attention to strangers and their stats and more attention to what's actually going on, we'd be a better society, kid.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment.
And you know what
I wrote, real quick. So I wrote back and said, there's no virtue signaling, as Dan always says. Yeah. We're here to play volleyball. Just, keep the normal uniform. Because I'm one of those, I'm a bit of a, I don't want to say a tyrant.
Fascist?
No.
Go with fascist. It's
No.
not bad. Fascism is really
But without rules,
under-described.
there's chaos. And I don't like when people have the different color knee pads on and different kind of shorts. You can score points if you look good before the game begins. Because if you walk in uniform,
Who raised
matching,
you? Santini? What the
then you
hell's wrong
score
with you?
points, man. I'm telling you. And if you stand
Really?
up straight and you look
Yeah.
relaxed and you don't look scared, you know, you're already ahead before the game begins. So I get on the bus yesterday. We had a game at Niles West. And guess what? Guess what? Just guess what? Everybody was wearing
I'm saying there was a coup. There was a coach coup.
pink socks.
You know what that is?
Everybody had pink socks
In my
on.
neighborhood, we call that, where you go like
What do you
this.
call that?
Where you
Sticking it to the coach? Yeah, they're sticking
there
it
we
to me.
go.
Yeah.
Hey,
She's not
don't
going to
care
make me.
what you say.
So I texted Dan Proft right away. And I said, OMG, you're never going to believe what my girls are wearing. They all have on pink socks. And he
So
said,
did Dan.
he said, have a Bobby Knight moment with them. Tell them it's a privilege to be on this team and that your rules are your rules.
Yeah, because if I was going to emulate somebody, it would be Bobby Knight, the winner of
Well, then I said,
Society.
should I throw a chair at him then
yeah.
too, Dan? So I had this conversation with him real quick, just saying,
I never.
I don't want to mix any social issues with sports. No virtue signaling, and nobody knew what I was talking about. I just said I want to wear our uniforms because our colors are black and red, and it looked horrible with pink socks.
I like black and pink.
And red and gray and white. No, so they took off their socks
What's
and they were
the
fine,
name of
but
your
they
team?
were
The-
shocked.
The Warsaw Swatters?
No, they were shocked that I asked them to take off the pink socks. And I said, well, you know what? It's just, I want to concentrate. I want to look uniformed. I want to look tough. And we don't look tough with that on. If on the weekends, if you want to wear pink, if you want to wear pink at school, feel free.
What did the
And
parents
I'm not
do?
against, I haven't heard from any parents yet.
Yeah, because, I always enjoyed the parents that were more into the sport than the kid.
Oh, yeah.
The kid had the look on his face like a dog that just wet the rug, like, I don't want to go to this.
Oh, do you know how many players I've had that I said, are you here because you want to be here or are you here because your parents? And they'll tell me the truth.
I never did that
My
to my
mom
kids.
really
Well,
wanted me to
I don't
try
know if that-
out,
see, here's
and
the
I don't
thing.
want to be here, and I'm scared, whether it's basketball, volleyball, whatever.
I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I never did that to my kids ever. I
Oh,
never
no.
lived vicariously through them. I never said you had to. I asked if you want to, and we made it available. And it was very cute in the beginning when they're all little and they do it. And, I understand
But then
the
later on, it
benefits.
gets very serious.
Yeah. Well, I understand the benefits to athletics and sport. I get it. I really do. But I never wanted to force it. It was always, when I played football, there was a kid on the team,
Oh, what position were you?
linebacker.
So you ran around in those tight
Just for the girls, and then I outgrew it right after high school. But anyway.
But you played football in high school?
Yeah.
Oh.
Got a little partial scholarship as a kid to Lawrence University right outside of Milwaukee.
Really?
Yeah, I could play,
Oh,
baby.
look at you.
Yeah. See, and I don't have to do it now as a man to pretend I'm still relevant.
And you don't watch the NFL?
No, haven't watched it since the 90s. Don't.
John Thompson.
But there was a
position
kid
were
on
you
the
in?
team. There was a kid on the team who he didn't start, and it was my position. I felt terrible for the kid. All right, Irish kid. And he had this 400-pound father, slob pig that he was, and he would walk down the line yelling at everybody. Right. So then his kid would come in when other guys went off, and he would tackle again. And he would scream from the sideline, "You hit like a girl." And I watched it just crush the kid. I never wanted to stab an adult more in my life.
Right.
As a kid. I don't know how he died, but I hope it was horrific.
Oh, my
Anyway,
gosh.
it was a scumbag.
Sean.
And he permanently damaged this kid to the point when I went back to my reunion, I saw him, and he was a sloppy kid, kind of reminiscent of the father, drunk at the thing.
Yeah.
And you know that is a direct result of a moron parent.
Right.
So to me, those people are far worse than the
Right.
guy who says what I did, in my opinion, was if you want to play, I'll be more than happy. And I did. We drove them to the volleyball games, in grade school and stuff.
Right.
But
Well-
to force them into it, you're not helping. I think you're destroying the kid. And you know what
And
you're
you're
teaching
destroying the
kid?
team, and it's harder for the coach.
You're
to
teaching
do her
him to
job.
be subservient.
Yep.
And I don't like that in a kid.
No.
I'd rather listen. I'm not the perfect dad. Believe me, my daughter, there were yelling that would go back and forth. I never had that perfect life. And the people who tell you they do, they're full of it.
Well, every family's dysfunctional.
But now to see them become women and see that characteristic, it's refreshing. It makes you feel like, okay, maybe I did do the right thing. Because the reality is, it doesn't come with a rule book.
Right.
But you could always tell the parents that are living through the kids, those are the parents that are intense, more intense than the kids should be. Rather than stoking a love of something, it's a fear of not doing something. And that's a terrible.
Well, I told the girls, I said, and because some of them were shocked when I asked them to take off the pink socks, they were aghast. And I said, you know what I did today, ladies? I got a mammogram today. That's what that's all about. That's what the whole October
look like a fun
thing.
Test with the smashing and whatnot.
It's not fun, but it goes by fast. But
Felt
so then they
fine when
went,
I got in
okay.
there, Doc.
And
I
then they
don't
got
feel
over it, and we played a great game against Niles West. Now, you mentioned that you'd been kicked out of 3 of your children's sporting
when
events.
my kids played sporting events.
Okay, what sport and what
Basketball.
the heck did you do?
Basketball. We went to this Catholic school. I don't know if I should say the town. I might incriminate myself, but I don't care. North Lake. And we went into this town, and the referee was a coach for the older girls, was the referee, and so were the 2 other ones. And our girls were playing, and the other kids, they were mugging the kids, right? And I didn't care who won. I never cared who won the game. I really didn't. And it wasn't even my daughter. This other girl was very good on the team, and they were shoving and pushing. Well, it got to the point, and I'm pacing now, and it got to the point where the one kid from the other team punched my daughter's friend in the face, and I lost my mind.
That's an assault. I mean, you can get them arrested.
I went after the referees. I wanted to fight the 3 referees in the parking lot, but which made me look like a lunatic as I'm yelling. And I got to tell you how embarrassing this was for my kid. I am in the middle of the court. You had to see.
So you stormed the court?
My wife was mad at me for a month. And I said, "Come on, girls, let's go." And nobody moved. I was standing there off my, kind of like with my position politically. Come on, let's go. And nobody goes.
And nobody follows.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah,
so
thrown out, 3-game suspension, baby. Can't go back. Couldn't go back to the school for 3 games. Yeah, it was very embarrassing.
Oh my gosh! What happened to the girl who punched your friends?
She went on to win a hot dog eating contest. If I remember correctly, she was one of those kids, like the father was fat. She had the size 48 trousers on, punching people. Yeah.
Outside the Lines obtained practice video showing exactly how far she has gone to motivate her players. Cursing at them. Throwing basketballs. Shooting t-shirt guns. Throwing bricks at them.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
When a company is ready to grow, it's important to have the right partner to support that growth. Choose a team backed by 100-plus years of combined experience in the staffing industry and the most trusted staffing service supplier. Choose Unistaff. Unistaff's flexible staffing solutions can help your business fill temporary, temp-to-perm, or direct hire employment and make the hiring process cost-effective and efficient. For temporary placement to handle specialty products requiring specific skill sets, workflow fluctuations, or to save on hire costs, Unistaff has the talent ready to take on the challenge. They can also connect you with their talented associates to provide temporary positions with the potential of full-time placement. And for direct hire, finding the right employee can be an unexpected, time-consuming task. Leading corporations partner with Unistaff to gain access to top candidates in a wide spectrum of industries specific to their needs. Focus on growing your business. Call Unistaff to handle the rest. Go to unistaffjobs.com. That's unistaffjobs.com.
All right, listeners who have helped build MyPillow into the amazing company it is today. The owner, inventor, and CEO of MyPillow wants to give back, and you can get deep discounts on all MyPillows. You know Mike Lindell. Yes, he was even mentioned last night in Minneapolis by President Trump.
Mike Lindell, MyPillow.
Always be closing.
I have never seen so many ads. I think he's the greatest ad negotiator in history. And I told him, I said, would you do me a favor? All the money we spend in these political campaigns, if I gave some of that money to Mike, I think it would have ads every single minute of every single show. I never saw so many ads.
It was great. And right now, Mike Lindell is paying it forward and giving deep discounts on all MyPillow products. The MyPillow body pillow, that provides the perfect comfort and support for your entire body.
If I could teach that thing to load the dishwasher, I'd leave my wife. Are you nuts?
Regularly $89.99, but with promo code AMY
or Liberty,
Amy, it's only $29.99, and all products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. So go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special box, and get those discounts. One MyPillow is only $29.99, and there's 30% off the mattress toppers that I love. And my favorite are the Giza cotton sheets. I just ordered another set for Peyton and Eli. They come in different colors, different shapes. They have
They're
twin,
crazy
twin
good.
XL. They're the best. Don't waste your money on Egyptian cotton. Seriously, these are much, much better.
And you get to say Giza.
Yeah, Giza, which I used to mispronounce. Go to mypillow.com, promo code Amy, or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And tell them Amy sent you.
Liberty.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
For more than 50 years, Mueller CPA, a certified public accounting and business advisory firm, has been serving clients in Chicagoland. Dave Nissen, Mueller's managing partner, is here to explain Mueller CPA's history, journey, and opportunity.
Thanks, Dan. Our firm was started by Al Mueller as a one-person CPA firm in 1968. Through growth and partnerships, Mueller CPA has blossomed from a regional firm to an organization that provides services worldwide. Mueller is a reflection of our years of listening and caring for our clients, and we would not be here today if it wasn't for our professionals and support personnel. We value the human side of our business and recognize it as being the most important element of our success. We are growing, we are hiring, and we welcome your interest in our firm.
If you are looking for your first opportunity or your forever career, join an award-winning team that cares about you. Visit the career page at MuellerCPA.com or call Dave directly at 630-524-5274.
Hey everyone, Ken here. For 2 years now, you've heard Carrie and I use metaphors to test to see if you think your home or your business could use a revenue shot in the backside. Today, because of our new website, I can be a little bit more direct. Income Store has 2 doors. If you have more time than money, you're going to live under door number 1. You're going to see over 400 digital assets, 5 to 20 minutes apiece, that'll teach you how to manage numbers and lead people, or show you 6 growth tips you've never heard of. All of this so you can start growing your home or your business revenue literally immediately. If you have more money than time, door number 2 is going to be for you. You can view some of our managed services, look for more done-for-you packages. 34% of Americans in 2018 visited one of our managed services. Forbes 3 years in a row quoted, "Income Store is an expert at generating home or business revenue." If you'd love to explore how to check out adding revenue to your home or business, just go to incomestore.com. That's incomestore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, yeah.
Better yeah,
So,
Chicago.
Yesterday, 2 of Rudy Giuliani's associates, hey, I got a guy,
what is it with
have
these
been
Eastern
arrested.
Bloc
These
guys?
2 look like they're straight out of Central Casting.
Something with the heads. They're like barbarians.
Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman.
It's a good name.
And apparently, do you know anything about these 2? They were arrested on a one-way ticket to Vienna. They got picked up at Dulles Airport.
I know there's something in the food. Are you taking a look at their heads? They're like yard darts. What the hell's going on over there?
Well, they've both been charged with 4 separate counts, 2 counts of conspiracy and 1 count of making false statements and 1 count of falsification of records. It had to do with an offshore
little money.
$350,000
You know what that's
that
called
they
in my
raised.
neighborhood?
What?
Sprinkling the infield. They were just
Okay.
sprinkling the infield.
So,
Their
of
velour
course,
suits.
people, pulled up pictures of them and President Trump, which he's seen in a photograph with one of them. President Trump takes pictures with thousands of people.
Sure.
Every month he does.
A few hundred criminals.
But then there's this video of Rudy Giuliani with these guys.
No, it's
hanging
outrageous.
out. All right, what is this? Well,
It's
I'll play it first. But
Play it.
Set the table first. What is it?
It's them. First of all, he was in the beginning. There was like I don't really know anybody type thing. I'm not quite sure who you're talking about. You know what I find most fun about this? his defense in all of this is exactly John Gotti's. It's almost poetic justice. He sounds more like the old gangsters he used to prosecute than the so-called law guy he's supposed to be.
And his tie's undone. It looks like, he had a rough night of dancing.
And he first said,
before.
I
wait.
don't really
looks
know
like
him.
he had a rough night of dancing before this video was taken.
Dancing's fair, I guess. I'm thinking massage parlor.
Just congratulated Rabbi Moshe Asman. Just do this. Hi, Moshe.
Moshe, how are you, baby?
How you doing? Here with Rudy, congratulations on the 120.
I love that picture. I can't wait to come back.
See you in Ukraine soon.
Yeah, and Anatevka is the best place in the world.
We love you.
We love you. Fantastic.
I don't know who Moshe is, but that's going to be the real question. If Moshe's a 300-pound guy with a little pet giraffe sitting in Kazakhstan, we got a problem.
So the two men were born in Ukraine and have been pictured, I guess, said before, with President Trump. They're part of the Soviet Union. They now live in Florida. They've become political players in recent years and global energy producers.
Sure, why wouldn't
credited with giving $325,000 to a campaign committee that supports Trump's reelection.
You know what that says? They're bagmen for an oligarch. Come on. All of it. Did you see these two idiots? All of a sudden, you're oil barons. I mean, it's the greatest scam in the world.
The best headline ever on Daily News. The Three Stooges, Rudis Kiev cronies tied to Biden caper, face ex-cash rap. Two other men held in funneling funds to pro-Don political group. If you can see this on the web, I mean, it's
I have to
the
say,
best
is this
cover.
not just a great time to be political and be involved in this whole thing? I love it so much because every day the information changes so much that it makes you question your belief structure. Right? Because if this whole thing is really, really bad with Hunter Biden, which I know it is, I knew it was when it broke, right? We all knew the way in which they do this corruption via proxy. It's no coincidence that little Dick Durbin's wife is a lobbyist. She just happens to be really good at it. Or that Madigan's entire family is involved in some sort of lobbying or law thing where they're using the corruption in government. That goes all the way up and always has.
But why would you give your drug addict son access to that much money? I mean, $50,000 a month he made. I wonder when Dad came over at payday. When Dad came over at payday and said, "Hey, I'll take my cut of it."
First of all, that's a tenth of the money he really made. But here's the other problem I have.
Well, he made 1.5 billion in China.
It appears that a similar thing was going on with Rudy. That he was working to set up the same kind of scam, and that's where these guys come in. So, this is the time as Americans, you test who you are. I get that there's an allure, and I get that we feel oppressed for decades of government power, and we view Trump as a relief valve for that. And I hope he was. I hoped he would do much better. But to sit back, and this is clearly his right-hand guy, and say, so what, they did it. I have a hard time with that. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, should be your philosophy in this whole thing.
Well, speaking of Hunter Biden, President Trump unleashed on him last night.
By the way, whatever happened to Hunter? Where the hell is he? Where's Hunter? Hey, fellas, I have an idea for a new T-shirt. I love the cops, but let's do another T-shirt. Where's Hunter? Where is he?
Well, I mean, he's on his second marriage, and he married this South African model after meeting her for 10 days. How long do you think that
Listen, I know a couple of guys.
I think those two are in hiding right now.
Listen, I know a couple of guys lost their mind at the Crazy Horse. I'm not going to throw stones for marrying some girl in 10 days. 10 days or 10 years. You don't know them until you're living with them. And I know that we all pretend that you guys are great, but come on.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, is this President Trump's wag the dog moment? And later, proof that you cannot force someone into counseling. It's a local story, and you are going to love it. But first, let's go into the newsroom, check in with Mike Scott from news here at home and around the world. Here he is.
Temperatures are falling across the state this morning. 2 teens wounded in a shooting outside a mall in Calumet City. Chicago Marathon coming your way this Sunday. There are traffic problems this morning for you to know about. And the Blackhawks fall to the Sharks in the opener at home. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
He says Joe Biden's not very smart and calls son Hunter a loser. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump taking shots at a rally last night in Minneapolis.
He was only a good vice president because he understood how to kiss Barack Obama's.
And the president claimed it is substantiated. The Bidens got rich as he railed against their dealings in China and Ukraine. The Biden calls it all conspiracy theories and lies.
So they know they can't win the 2020 election. So they're pursuing the insane impeachment witch hunt.
Now, outside that rally,
No Trump!
there was a big anti-Trump protest that included a lock him up chant and your time is up signs. Well, this morning, the former ambassador to Ukraine, removed from her post back in May, is supposed to be questioned in the House impeachment inquiry. Fox's Rachel Sutherland is live in Washington.
Dave, Marie Yovanovitch is scheduled for testimony before 3 House committees today. The career diplomat came up in the controversial phone call with the leader of Ukraine, with President Trump calling her bad news. This is multiple sources tell Fox that U.S. Ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland, will appear for a transcribed interview before House investigators next Wednesday, after the State Department blocked his appearance earlier this week. Democrats have also subpoenaed Energy Secretary Rick Perry for documents related to his knowledge of the phone call. Dave.
Rachel, Iran claims one of its oil tankers was attacked today off the Saudi Arabia coast, hit by 2 missiles and damaged. Iran's foreign ministry warns of consequences for whoever did it. Meanwhile, it's day 3 of Turkey's operation going after Kurds who were U.S. allies in the battle against ISIS in Syria. A Turkish soldier has been killed. The Nobel Peace Prize was handed out this morning to Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, honoring him for a peace deal that ended a border conflict with a neighboring country. America's listening to Fox News.
66 degrees, 6:02 is our time this Friday morning on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chances are we've seen the warmest part of the day already, as temperatures will fall throughout the day. 40s by late in the afternoon, 30s overnight. Exelon, the power provider for most of northern Illinois, says in a new public filing that it and its electric utility, ComEd, have received a second federal subpoena asking about lobbying in Illinois and communications with an embattled state senator whose offices the FBI recently raided, State Senator Marty Sandoval. Clock is ticking for the Chicago Teachers Union and the city to reach a contract deal before next week's looming strike date. CTU President Jesse Sharkey.
The truth of the matter is I can't put out a notice for our delegates to come in at midnight, have people meet at 4 in the morning, and then get ready to turn around, or 2 in the morning, and then turn around and teach at 6 in the morning. That's not the way that's going to work. We're going to need some time to read it.
Sharkey says not enough progress was made during negotiations yesterday, but they're working, he says, to get a deal done. Mayor Lightfoot considering raising ride-hailing fees for solo passengers in congested parts of the area, part of her 2020 budget. She's also debating whether to levy a tax on online sales. Chicago sports. Blackhawks led early and often, but in the end fell to the Sharks in the home opener, 5-4. They host Winnipeg tomorrow night. Fighting Illini welcome number 16 Michigan to Champaign tomorrow. Other college football action, number 10 Notre Dame welcomes USC, and our NIU Huskies visit Ohio University with an expected kick time of around 2:30 on AM 560. The news, a service of Discover. Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year automatically with no limit to how much they'll match. Millions of people a year are getting their cash back matched. Discover Cash Back Match. What are you waiting for? Learn more at discover.com/cashbackmatch. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Tickets for Freedom Summit 2019 sold out in record time in response to the high demand. We've opened up an overflow room for attendees to watch the event on Saturday, November 2nd at the Westin Chicago Northwest. Overflow tickets are on sale now, but are selling fast. Get yours at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Clear Financial Strategies, Tom Mirabali, independent health insurance agent with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Monarch Technical, and by Charles Equipment Energy Systems.
Starting route now. Turn right at Fortress Mountain. Turn left at Mount Hood. Head south to Moab, Utah. Continue on the Great North American Test Drive.
Run with us on a John Deere Gator XUV 835. With our quietest cab ever and optional heat and AC, and a four-wheel independent suspension, it's built to run where no one else can. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
I'm Dr. Bob Arnott, and I treat pain with Salon Pause. Before you take anything for back or joint pain, I recommend applying topical pain relievers first, like Salon Pause Lidocaine Patch. Salon Pause Lidocaine contains the maximum strength lidocaine available without a prescription. It blocks pain receptors, providing effective, long-lasting, and non-addictive relief. Also available in roll-on or cream. Look for the silver Salon Pause box in the pain relief aisle. Salon Pause, it's good medicine.
Now that fall is here, how's your fireplace and chimney? Before you light the first fire, have your chimney cleaned and inspected by Chicagoland's most trusted fireplace and chimney company. The experts at Fireplace and Chimney Authority will give your family peace of mind that your fireplace is safe and works properly all season long. And if you call today, get $45 off a cleaning and inspection. You'll be all set. Since 1995, Fireplace and Chimney Authority has been the favorite for everything fireplace and chimney. For a limited time, get 10% off any new purchase of a fireplace, new doors, gas logs, insert, or fireplace tool sets and screens. With record-breaking cold predicted this winter, now is a great time to update your existing fireplace or add a new fireplace to your home. Remember to get your fireplace serviced this fall and receive $45 off your chimney cleaning and inspection. Call Fireplace and Chimney Authority now, 630-279-8500, or visit online, fireplaceandchimneyauthority.com. fireplaceandchimneyauthority.com.
Staples gives your business more for less. It's where your ink is in stock and at low prices. And right now at Staples, all HP ink cartridges are buy one, get one 30% off. Ends 10/12/19. Restrictions apply. See store or staples.com/ink savings for details. Staples.
6:07. AM 560 traffic center time. Jim Telemonte.
Inbound Ryan Expressway traffic is heavy from 95th to 87th and from 31st to 18th. Express lane delays start around 35th. There was a stall at 18th that's been relocated, but it's 25 minutes from 95th to downtown. Outbound fine at 15. I-57, 17 minutes. I-80 to the Merge Bishop, 28 minutes. Edens is okay. Kennedy, 22 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 23. Westbound 190 is heavy going into O'Hare. Inbound Eisenhower, 35 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Tollway traffic is fairly light. We see no significant delays right now in northwest Indiana. You'll have lots of closures Sunday morning for the Chicago Marathon. That's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center with meteorologist Steve Williams.
Mostly cloudy, breezy, and cooler. Shower and thunderstorm today. The high 64. Temperatures dropping into the 40s. Partly cloudy, breezy, and chilly tonight. Low 33. For tomorrow and Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds, windy and cool. The high both days at 52. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
66 at O'Hare. Next news at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Mortgage Update with Dan Frio. Every Saturday morning at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Did President Trump fail to fulfill his promise to destroy ISIS? Good Friday morning. Amy Jacobson here. Sean Thompson filling in for Dan Proft. Dan Proft's getting ready for the marathon Sunday.
Technically, I'm filling in for you.
He's doing his long run today, getting ready. Yeah, sure.
He's drinking Long Island iced teas. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, no, he's on a golf trip. So he needed some time off.
Did you ever golf with Dan Proft?
Yeah, I have a few times.
I'll tell you what, he really does hit the ball.
He's a very good golfer.
And God forbid it's not in the fairway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's like a whirling dervish. He throws the club farther than I hit it. Crazy.
So last night, President Trump, during a rally in Minnesota, described why he's pulling U.S. troops out of northern Syria. And he got emotional a little bit when he talked about the parents and how he has to deal with them.
He was only a good vice president. How do you have such a person representing?
That is not it. Here it is, folks. Thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Jones from Alabama. Dear Mr. and Mrs. somebody from some great state, I'm sorry to inform you, your son has been killed in combat. I'm so sorry. And every letter is individually done. because sometimes the parents, they're grieving and they get together with other parents and I don't want to see that it's like the same letter. So we do different letters. It's the hardest thing I have to do.
So the question is this President Trump's wag the dog moment? You've heard of wagging the dog, diverting attention from one serious matter
What do you think,
to
you're talking
another.
to your friends in the North Shore? Of course
No,
I heard.
I mean, it's one thing that the president's fighting is his impeachment and removal from office, and it's entirely another when the same president decides to alienate his party, because there is not one Republican who is satisfied with his decision to pull troops out of northern Syria.
And that's how you know he's right. And that's exactly how you know he's right. Because all of the Republicans, the neocon frauds, who are paid off by everybody from defense contractors to weapon companies, they're very upset with this because they've been making a fortune for 18 years. This is the one thing I am absolutely happy that he did. My problem is he didn't do it in the right countries. He should have done it everywhere.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. But Sean, he didn't say that that's the reason why he's doing it. This is President Trump's reasoning.
Now, the Kurds are fighting for their land, just so you understand. They're fighting for their land. And as somebody wrote in a very, very powerful article today, they didn't help us in the Second World War. They didn't help us with Normandy, as an example. They mentioned names of different battles. They were there, but they're there to help us with their land. And that's a different thing. In addition to that, we have spent tremendous amounts of money on helping the Kurds in terms of ammunition, in terms of weapons, in terms of money, in terms of pay. With all of that being said, we like the Kurds.
And Adam Kinzinger, congressman, Republican from Illinois, because there aren't many of them.
I mean, how do you even compete with that logic, right? The Kurdish folks were not involved in Normandy. Sorry about that. There's probably a lot of people that weren't involved in Normandy that we can be friends with. But I tell you what they were involved in. We've lost 17 American lives in this fight against ISIS from direct combat-related action. The Kurds have lost 10,000. That's more than we lost, by the way, in Iraq and Afghanistan over the entire fight of those wars. And this is a much smaller population that's in. So they took those casualties for us. We lost 17. So, whether or not they were involved in Normandy, okay, they were involved in fighting ISIS on behalf of the United States of America willingly because we didn't want to put forces on the ground.
So what the Turks are doing, there's this buffer zone, 20-mile buffer zone, where they want to return 3 million Syrian refugees who are living in Turkey. They want to bring them back to their own land. But there's ethnic cleansing that I think is going to be going on.
Really?
Kurds are going to be killed because they already said that they're terrorist organization.
You know who they are?
Erdogan did.
They are. Do you know who they are? The Kurds? I don't know why anyone isn't saying this. Am I the only one that can read? Do you know who they are?
Who are they, Sean?
They're the PKK communists. Did you know that? That means we were on the side of the PKK communists. Kurds were actually fighting with Kurds for over 10 years. The regular Kurds were actually good people. These are the communist wing of the Kurds. In fact, they call themselves Kurdistan Workers' Party. Sound familiar? So in essence, what Trump did is make it so we are not protecting communists. In fact, these Kurds that are so the victim are actually terrorists.
Well,
and they are
I know
communists.
that you say that, but they worked along our U.S. soldiers for years.
Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Well, here's a U.S. soldier interviewed by Richard Engel who is upset because U.S. troops that are still there have been ordered not to help the Kurds in any way.
They led it, and they paid for it in blood.
What kind of partners did you find them to be?
Committed, dedicated, formidable.
There's something
And now Christians are getting slaughtered because there's Christians there too.
There's something that Americans do that is nauseating. They talk about other nations as if they are all homogenous. They're all lockstep. The Kurds were these Kurds, these ones we're protecting, were fighting the other Kurds that were trying to work peacefully in Iraq with Syria, with Turkey. There was an entire exchange going on where those Kurds were actually operating and trying to be free under the reign of dictators. So ironically, we're protecting the wrong Kurds. And nobody is talking about that.
Meghan McCain on The View.
Well, Meghan's against it. If I want to know what a cream puff tastes like, I'll ask Meghan. When it comes to policy, ask somebody with an IQ over 60.
Erdogan, right this moment, is referring to the Kurds as terrorists. And I just don't understand why we're living in a country right now. And I'm very happy that there's outrage on both sides. I'm happy that there's finally seems to be something that Republicans and Democrats are coming forward. But this idea, and you're having Rand Paul on tomorrow, and I'm not going to be here tomorrow for personal reasons, but I want you to ask him, there is blood on anyone's hands, starting with his and President Trump's, who is letting this happen, because these people are being slaughtered after standing with our troops in the Middle East for an extremely long time, fighting against terror cells, and we are not entering into a foreign war. They are proxies that are supporting us. The whole point of having proxies is so we don't get into another war. And I'm sorry, have we not learned the lessons of 9/11? And I don't understand it.
She hasn't been that mad since the Big Mac changed its sauce. Here's the problem. She doesn't understand which ones they are. Nobody is saying PKK Kurds. These are the Worker Party Communist Kurds. And the real shame of it is we were defending them for these years.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. Let's go to Tom, who joins us from Hobart, Indiana. Good morning, Tom.
You know what? I've given this a lot of thought, but I have to agree with Trump on this one. We don't need, our troops should not be all over the world. However, I do believe fighting radical Islam is very important. The Kurds are very tough people. They can fight ISIS on their own. We can assist them in certain ways without having our troops there.
And these particular Kurds were spending a lot of time killing other Kurds who were not communists. This is a crucial point.
Thanks, Tom, for the phone call. Let's go to Greg, who joins us from Jefferson Park. Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Good,
I'm with you, brother. You know what? I'll tell you something. The Kurds, there are good Kurds. There's no question about it. But that's like saying all Chicagoans never get along or always get along. The gangster disciples don't hang out with the vice lords and so on. And you know what? We got problems all over this world. We should be pulling our people out of everywhere. How many millennium are we going to be in Europe, in Korea? Let these guys fend for themselves. Are we on their side? Sure we are. But I mean, NATO, come on. NATO's a joke, and we should be pulling our people out of countries all over the world, man.
We fund 70% of NATO.
Since 1992, these Kurds were at war with the peaceful Kurds. I don't understand why this is not being spoken. All you have to do is Google it. The evil Google will give you the answer. Just look it up. It's outrageous
but is that information
to me.
That Google wants you to...
Oh, yeah, they're cooking the books. Well, you could also look at the many, many documentaries that were done on the growing Communist Party among the Islam states. And the leading one is PKK.
All right. Verlon on the south side. Good morning, Verlon. How are you?
How you doing, Amy?
Good. How are you?
I just want to let y'all know I'm doing all right. I got my Caddyshack hat on today. So I'm going to tell you something. You know,
I call him a Caddyshack.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. My Caddyshack is for you, Sean. My Caddyshack hat is on today.
All right, now give me your best candidate.
A lot of talk show hosts would love to have a pure communist or socialist in office so they could build their careers, and have somebody to cry about and to lash at, right? But you're going to end up getting what you deserve. This is a binary choice between socialist and Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is a socialist. Okay? He's not a capitalist. You just don't know enough about it to talk about it. Go ahead.
You're going to get somebody in office that's going to end up destroying this country. Let's stop all the distractions. Let's put the nonsense aside for 13 months, get behind this president, and stand behind this president. Otherwise, we're going to lose this country.
There's too many dummies on the train. Thanks.
Thanks, Verlon, for calling. What happened to you? I thought you and Verlon were good friends.
We are friends. That doesn't mean I have to agree with the stupidity that he's oozing out of his kisser right now.
Candace in Mount Pleasant. Good morning, Candace.
Yeah, Sean, I'm with you on this as well. And, this PKK, whatever, they've been training Antifa and telling them how to be terrorists in our own nation. And there's pictures all over on the web of that. So I don't think we should be there either. I agree with you. I mean, if you look at, South America, what's happening down there, that now we have Iranians there stirring things up. I mean, we could be everywhere. Every country is, having issues.
But we are everywhere.
But you know what's important
We
to
police
recognize?
the world, you guys. We have military bases all
but
over
you know
the
what?
world.
I don't agree. But I don't agree with Miss Piggy, on TV and her little tirade. I mean, she's a never Trumper. This
means
woman
McCain.
is not an intellectual.
Come on, stay
oh
up
my
to
God,
the case.
don't call her Miss Piggy. That is disrespectful.
It's disrespectful, as accurate as it may be.
She is a beautiful, intelligent woman.
Sure.
And just because we don't agree
and you don't
with
want
her,
to, and you don't want to leave a half-eaten hamburger.
Stop.
That's not
If you
mine.
like to eat leather, Amy, she's a beautiful woman.
She is gorgeous. I think McCain's Meghan McCain is beautiful.
Not at all.
I do.
She is
We're not here to rip on her looks.
She is.
You might not
beautiful.
agree with her politically, and especially on this issue, but please do not call her Miss Piggy.
All of a sudden, this became a Starbucks in Ravenswood. Listen, she is beautiful, and she is wrong at the same time. So the issue is, we're worried about Iran. Who was fighting Iran for 10 years before 1992? Who was fighting them? You're never going to believe it. The Iraqis.
Yeah.
So every time we go in, every time we think we're helping, we tend to make things worse. And the problem is you're inundated with propaganda. And you're told by other dimwits that to just shut up and take it and support. This is the call of the end of society right here. Believe me.
Steve and Huntley are in Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. Great show. You guys are fantastic. But look, isn't the more important issue that one country crossed the sovereign border of another country and started killing people?
Yes.
I mean, what if Canada did that to Massachusetts?
Exactly.
Well, that off the table. Now, shouldn't there be like a dome just slammed over that country? Nothing comes in, nothing comes out. You are shut off from the world until you change what you're doing.
And I'm worried about those. Yeah.
What's the response to Turkey?
You're 100% correct, Steve. But what you're asking people to do is turn away from the propaganda they're inundated with by their very fraud representatives like Kinzinger. Kinzinger has a vested interest in this entire thing. And it's not just the contributors' money. His entire career is built on this phony military expertise that he prances around with, rather than quietly being proud of it. That's the one thing I'll give John McCain credit for.
Yeah.
I do not think he really threw that military service in your face. That was something that was talked about that he didn't have the audacity to do himself, which I'm proud of him for.
You want to know, my ex-in-laws were so liberal that they thought John McCain made up that he was a prisoner of war. And I said, oh, he broke his own arms?
There's a difference between liberal and stupid.
Yeah, well, hey, there you go. Well, I don't know about that. Let's go to John, who joins us from Palatine. Good morning, John.
Hey, Amy and Sean. Hey, listen, I think Beto or Ocasio-Cortez should extend an open invitation to the Kurds and offer them free health care and everything else, benefits, and bring them to Wisconsin where they'd fit in.
I like that. And you know what?
Thanks,
nauseates
John.
me? You sent 58,000 boys to Vietnam to fight communism. You fought an idea in communism. We lost, what,
so many
60,000? How many hundreds or tens of thousands injured? You changed the course of America forever by taking those people out of America. God knows what they would have become. Moreover, you are now defending the exact same philosophy that we sent those boys for. They, too, are communists. This is a crucially important point. The idea that we've wasted this time and money and lives should be what's infuriating both sides of the aisle.
Randy, who joins us from Naperville. Good morning, Randy.
Yeah, good morning, Amy. Good morning, Sean. I never, every candidate does have issues, and nobody's perfect. But I often hear, like, when the discussion turns against their current president, President Trump, I wonder, well, who would you vote for? I mean, what's the alternative? If it's not going to be Trump, now you're saying he's a socialist. I know there's things he's doing that probably are socialist-like, but if your vote's not going to go for Trump, well, who's your vote going to go for?
I'll tell you
Tell
what.
me. I want to know. I trust you.
Okay, Randy, I'm going to tell you what I've learned, recognized a long time ago, is that the idea of freedom of the individual in a phony republic, which is what we've become, they cannot exist together. So the answer is, who would you like to take away your freedom more? So in that case, I rarely pick, Randy. So, for instance, I'm a big voter of not good enough. And that's what I voted for in the last election. And by the looks of things, it's as shame of it is, I probably would vote for Trump because this time it'll be in Florida. It'll count.
Right.
But the reality is that's the concept you have when you go in the booth. Who do you like more as they take away your freedom and liberty?
Quickly, let's go to Ann, who joins us from Chicago. Good morning, Ann.
Oh, thank you for taking my call. Yes, I agree with Sean, and I agree with everybody who says we should pull out because, we liberated every country in the world. And all they do is they don't help each other. They play soccer. And if you liberate Syria and the Kurds, they're going to play soccer too.
All right,
and every
thanks, Ann.
president has been blackmailed into going to war.
Soccer for borders.
You know
I
what
like
is
it. Soccer
Everything-
for borders.
Everything is about soccer.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results vary. Exclusions apply.
Contacts and glasses are such a hassle. I'd love to finally get LASIK, but
I'm going to stop you right there. If you want LASIK, then the LASIK Vision Institute has officially taken away everything standing in your way.
Isn't LASIK expensive?
Not at the LASIK Vision Institute. We're offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. See for free if LASIK is right for you by texting TOP to 350350.
But I'm really busy.
A text only takes seconds. The LASIK procedure typically only takes 15 minutes, and most patients can get back to work the following day. The LASIK Vision Institute uses the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision. Dr. Greenberg has performed 75,000 LASIK surgeries and is one of the most experienced LASIK surgeons in Chicago. And we're offering 20% off our already low-cost services.
What's that text again?
Text TOP to 350350. That's TOP to 350350 to schedule your free consultation today.
No, it's not a bar. Take it easy. Oh, is this me? Are we on?
No, Shenanigans was a bar.
Was it really?
Yes.
Somebody calling shenanigans on me. I don't know what that is. But listen, if you want a dry basement, the most dry of all time, and if you do want that, you call Permaseal, which, by the way, I have hired them. They are phenomenal and fast. All right. For over 40 years, the Permaseal team believes your basement should be dry, no matter how hard it rains. That's right. You can have a permanently dry basement. The word permanently. Just give them a call. 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, which means they don't want you to negotiate with them, cheap Amy. Price assurance guarantee, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best value.
Well,
Royce,
how was it? Did they do a good job in your
really
place?
fantastic. And you want to know something? I just called. I didn't know anybody. Here, they're telling you to drop Roy Spencer's name. That's the big shot. I called as a stranger. They did a great job. Call Roy Spencer, Permaseal. He started it back in 1979. And it's still local, still family-owned. That's the best part. Your basement is already dry most of the time. That's not good enough for them. If you want it dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal. 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325 or permaseal.net. They should have bought the com.
The following statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Amberen trials tested mild to moderate symptoms. Testimonials based on 90 days of use. Results may vary. IRI US MULO 52 weeks 71419 by UPC MLVO.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Retton. When I competed in gymnastics, I used to love to talk about my health, my energy, and my will to win gold. But today, I want to talk to you about something I used to keep private. My menopause. Between my hot flashes and night sweats, and worse, my constant fatigue, I felt like a stranger in my own life. Nothing I tried could give me relief until I discovered Amberen.
Amberen is clinically shown to relieve 12 menopause symptoms. Amberen is not a drug and is 100% estrogen-free and clinically tested.
Thanks to Amberen now, my energy is back, and those days of fearing hot flashes and night sweats are gone. I feel like myself again. Amberen works. It really works.
Hurry to your Walmart, Walgreens, Target, and other fine stores and see why Amberen is America's #1 menopause relief supplement.
Hey, believe it or not, the calendar says October. Yes, it is fall. The leaves are starting to change. And for you, maybe you're starting to feel your energy level falling. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping, or maybe you have seasonal allergies. But here's what I do know. You're not getting enough fruits and veggies in your diet. Pumpkin spice doesn't count as a vegetable. So time to get healthy before the holiday season starts. And trust me, it's going to be here sooner rather than later. Start taking Balance of Nature. 6 capsules of Balance of Nature. You're getting 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies. You hear stories here all the time on this station how Balance of Nature has changed people's lives. And the next story could be yours, but you've got to order Balance of Nature today. Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. From now until Columbus Day, Balance of Nature is offering $25 off and free shipping. And Columbus Day is Monday, so you better get on this. Again, Balance of Nature, $25 off and free shipping. This special ends between now and October 14th. Yeah, I just said that. So don't wait. Call now, 800-246-8751. I love when I have conversations with myself.
Really smooth.
800-246-8751. Use discount code Chicago or go to balanceofnature.com, discount code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we are going to have a woman on, Chrissy Snyder. She is a local woman, worked at WGN
Not mad
TV.
at me, is she? I never know who's out there.
No, she's
All right, good.
Yeah, Sean Thompson.
quite
Me
the
Too
kid.
moment at 6:36. No, she has a sad story to tell. They lived in the Bahamas and their house was destroyed, and just they're having a fundraiser, but you have to hear their story of survival is just remarkable. And then later we will get to it. Why Dan Proft is single? Proof that you cannot force anyone to go to counseling.
Yeah.
Which has a great
I
ending.
thought divorce court proved it.
But now let's hop into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
66 degrees. An Iranian oil tanker has reportedly been hit by rockets off the coast of Saudi Arabia. Iranian officials say the ship is on fire, leaking oil into the Red Sea. There's been no claim of responsibility. Two associates of President Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, are confronting charges of conspiracy and campaign violations. Reporter Hallie Jackson, more from New York with details on the charges.
The pair is being charged with breaking campaign finance laws here by allegedly trying to funnel foreign money into elections to buy potential influence with the candidates, campaigns, and the candidates' governments.
Igor Fruman and Lev Parnas were involved in Giuliani's efforts, according to prosecutors, to get information on potential illegal activities of former Vice President Joe Biden in Ukraine. Police were out in force yesterday, keeping the peace outside a President Trump rally in Minneapolis.
We released a perfect conversation. The president of Ukraine just confirmed that, and that should be case over.
Protests outside the rally in Minneapolis were largely peaceful until protesters began burning Trump memorabilia in the street near the end of the night and confronting vehicles leaving the event. Chances are we've already seen our warmest part of the day here in northern Illinois. Forecasters say temps will tumble throughout the day, mid-40s by noontime, 30s by the late afternoon. The clock is ticking for a Chicago Teachers Union and City of Chicago deal to avert a strike next week. CTU President Jesse Sharkey says not enough progress was made during negotiations yesterday, but he says they will continue to try and work to get a deal done. Governor Jay Pritzker plans to push legislation later this month to try and combine municipal fire and police pensions into two massive funds. Pritzker unveiled a task force report in Chicago recommending combining 649 stable pension accounts outside of Cook County into two, totaling more than $14 billion in assets, and to continue studying the troubled pension funds, 9 of them in Chicago and Cook County with a funding gap of $44 billion. Blackhawks fell to the Sharks in the home opener 5-4. They host Winnipeg tomorrow night. Bulls visiting the Pacers tonight. The news, a service of Discover. Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year automatically. No limit on how much they'll match. Millions of people a year are getting their cash back matched. Discover Cashback Match. What are you waiting for? Learn more at discover.com/cashbackmatch. 6:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Tickets for Freedom Summit 2019 sold out in record time in response to the high demand. We've opened up an overflow room for attendees to watch the event on Saturday, November 2nd at the Westin Chicago Northwest. Overflow tickets are on sale now, but are selling fast. Get yours at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Woodland Windows and Doors, Automated Systems Incorporated, Joe Cotton Ford, HealthInsuranceMentors.com, and by Crown Weedy Roofing.
Want your home's furnace to stay safe and reliable? And want to prevent any potential problems before they happen? At your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we recommend an annual furnace inspection and tune-up. Right now, get big savings on a furnace tune-up. Call 855-1-HOUR. Because not taking care of your furnace, that's just cold.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
It's time once again for Al and Marty.
You know, Al, we were Chicagoland's first ever Ford Lincoln dealer.
We're also everybody's favorite dealer.
We are?
I took a very scientific poll.
A poll? Wow, that's amazing.
100% of the respondents favored us.
Wait, respondents?
Well, Bill in accounting, my daughters, your wife's a big fan, and, well, me.
You?
I think I'm fantastic.
I bet you do.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 800-984-9000 or visit alanmarty.com.
This is Al and Marty. Deal with us.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I've had a corrective lens restriction on my driver's license for years and years, meaning that I have to drive with glasses. So my birthday came up and my license was going to expire on my birthday. So I went to the DMV, to get that renewed, and I passed the eye exam without glasses. And the lady, she's just looking at me going, how does that even work? She goes, you aced the whole thing. And I said, well, I started taking these supplements, and I started explaining it to her. And I tell everybody about it. It's been a huge blessing for me, for sure. I'll be on this stuff for the rest of my life. It's amazing.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. From now until Columbus Day, Balance of Nature is offering $25 off and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. This special is ending between now and October 14th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
6:36 AM 560 traffic center time, and here is Jim Telemonte.
Traffic on the northbound tri-state is slow from Plainfield Road to 47th Street and from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways look good this Friday morning. Inbound Eden's traffic is tight, Cicero to Montrose, 21 minutes, Lake Cook at the junction. Inbound Kennedy, 25 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound the same, westbound 190 is congested from the Kennedy to Manheim. Inbound Eisenhower, 38 minutes, 390 to downtown, 25 from Manheim. Outbound 31 minutes to 390. Stevenson now 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 16 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 17. There are plenty of closures downtown for Sunday's Chicago Marathon. There will be many closures Sunday morning. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Cloudy, breezy, cooler. Temperatures tumbling throughout the day. We'll start the day with a high near 65 degrees and then fall to the low 40s to upper 30s by the drive home today, and a low of 33 overnight. Currently 65. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
See Michelle Malkin, Sean Hannity, and Laura Logan at Freedom Summit 2019. Tickets on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com.
Good Friday morning. Amy Jacobson here. Sean Thompson sitting in for me, and I'm sitting in for Dan Prof. So thanks so much for coming in.
I always get confused when someone says Good Friday morning.
Why?
I feel like I should be in church or something, throwing toast in my mouth. I don't know what that
So you live part-time in Florida, right?
Yeah.
And you have to deal with hurricanes sometimes?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Do you ever board up your house?
No, I sit on the roof and like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. Is this all you got?
Well, you're not on the coast. I mean, how far away off the coast are you?
Not that far.
Okay, so it's in... Yeah, but you're one of those nonconformists, so you're going to survive every storm, right?
No, and if I don't, can you think of a more exciting way to go rather than waiting for a union nurse to come to your room?
Well, our next guest didn't have it so triumphantly as you would imagine in your hypothetical hurricane mind. Hurricane Dorian, as you know, Category 5. We heard about it recently because there's this dog rescue program going on, and they found this dog Miracle that was stuck underneath an air conditioning unit for 3 weeks.
This little guy was trapped underneath an AC unit, and he's been there for 3 weeks. With how he has survived is a miracle.
But I just love how, as Americans, we're so distracted, like, oh, look at the cute puppy. But what about the people? Do you know there are still close to 2,500 people still missing, unaccounted for?
Yeah, this is a problem that they've had since the 1850s.
What do you mean with hurricanes?
Yeah,
Yes,
this is a bad problem.
It's part of living there, but this one it was
Maybe we should
catastrophic.
figure out a way to get them off the island when it's coming.
No, well, let's talk to our next guest. Her name is Chrissy Snyder. She does have a home with her husband and 10-year-old son on Great Ghana Cay. Good morning, Chrissy. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. So you tell us, I spoke to you, 2 days ago about how you guys were going to stay and hunker down, and then at the last minute, your husband said, "Let's get out of here."
Yeah, we had just landed from a vacation in Michigan back to the Bahamas, and at that time it was a tropical storm forming, looking like it could be a Cat 2 or 3 headed for the Bahamas. So we were boarding up our house with the hurricane shutters, and my Bahamian friends had told us, "Why don't you ride out the storm with us?" And then aftermath is usually just, some power outages, and you wash your hair with a bucket for a week, and it's kind of like camping.
Yeah.
It all sounded kind of interesting, but it was our first hurricane to ride out since we were originally from Chicago and lived most of our lives in Chicago. So, but as Wednesday approached, we saw that the storm started to take on a little bit more force. It was about to hit Bahamian waters, which were very unusually warm for this time of year. And my husband made the call to evacuate, and we got the last 3 seats on the airplane on Thursday, and the storm hit around 8 o'clock Sunday morning.
So, Kristen, as I'm listening to the story, I can't help but notice, what have we learned? 2 major things. Number 1, we don't listen to groups of people when they have an idea. Number 2, whenever your husband says something, don't argue.
Okay.
That's a smart son of a gun.
So, Chris,
I'll tell you one thing I could argue with Sean. He told me to pack only 1 suitcase because we were only going to be gone for a week.
Nobody's perfect.
Thinking that the storm was not looking like it was going to landfall what it ended up being. So I shouldn't have listened to him, and I should have packed everything I owned because we lost.
See, typical woman, looking at the bad thing. Jeez.
If you would have stayed, it probably would have been a fatal mistake. So I'm glad you got out and you're safe and your family's safe. But your home is demolished and that Cay is completely destroyed.
Yes, there's really, unfortunately, there's really nothing left that's inhabitable on the island. We have about 150 year-round residents, lots of tourists that come to visit our beautiful island, and it's super well known for this bar called Nippers. It's a world renowned beach bar that people from all over the world come. It's where Justin Bieber got engaged. It's a real fun place, but there's really nothing left but splinters of wood and piles of rubble, and there's 150 people that rode out the storm on the island and that did not evacuate. And miraculously, on our tiny little island, which is 7 miles long by 1 mile wide, every single person survived on our island. Not so much for Marsh Harbor, where my son goes to school. He takes a ferry boat to Marsh Harbor every day, and Marsh Harbor had the mass amount of casualties. I think you mentioned there's close to 2,000 people still missing. They can't remove the rubble because there's still people missing and buried, and it's all very sad. And
but we're talking like the American media shows dogs being rescued, and I haven't heard squat about these 2,000 plus people who are still missing. Who are there? Some of them Americans? Are they all Bohemians?
Yes, this is my son's classmates. These are their parents and grandparents. These are people that went to our church on Marsh Harbor, our grocery store attendants. There's just a lot of people still missing, and there's a site that you can go and you can link up and say, mark yourself safe, and there's like 2,000 people still unaccounted for, whether they were washed out to sea or they're underneath the rubble and they can't be recognized. What's going on is the Bahamian government can only identify the bodies that they've found, and they can mark as this is an identified person. So they're only accounting it as 50 deaths or something like
it's
that.
Up to
but there's
61,
still a
I
lot
just
of
checked.
people missing.
So the Bohemian government has no real codes for hurricane buildings. Is that correct? Like the home you lived in?
There are codes. Yeah, my husband is a home builder. There's strict codes. Many of the homes on our island are considered hurricane proof. They have these really expensive windows, In fact, some of the windows you don't even put hurricane shutters because they're up to 180-mile-an-hour proof. Hurricane, they said, my husband said if a 2x4 came through the glass, it should not shatter, but nobody can build a home to withstand what Dorian was.
Was that 210-mile-per-hour winds?
Yeah, sustained. So,
but the other islands with the major damage, those were older construction, correct? So your island's fairly new in its development, isn't it? I mean, you think maybe that's why 150, you guys all lived. I mean, the whole island lived. I'm sure that had to have something to do with it.
Well, I don't think it has to do really with the construction, Sean. It's and our island is not fairly new. It's been around for a long time. The development my husband works for is somewhat new, but a lot of these homes have these hurricane-proof concrete buildings, and they were shredded like they were cardboard.
That's crazy. So how is this? I know your husband. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
Go ahead.
Well, your husband recently, he's there right now back at the K, right?
Yes. So he landed 2 days ago. He's helping with the relief efforts, helping to clean up. He went to go look at the remnants of our home to find if there's any things left in the debris of substantial sentimental value. So he found his Cubs hat, which was like one of the only things that he found we lost all 4 walls of our beautiful oceanfront home. Nothing's really left. It's just a pile of rubble, but he did find his Cubs hat. So that was a big win for him.
That's awesome. The Cubs haven't had a big win this year, but your husband did.
Well, yeah, and then
there's always hope for nothing.
No, I know it's hard. We had a fire in my house when I was a kid, and people don't understand unless you've been through it how absolutely devastating it is. So where do you go from here?
Well,
you rebuild.
Right now we're just we are hoping to rebuild Guana, and right now we're seeking refuge here in Libertyville, Illinois. Our kind friends have opened their home to us and allowing us to stay with them, and until we can get back to our island. Right now it's uninhabitable. There's really no power or anything like that. There's a lot of people on the island volunteering, basically camping out, living on generated power and trying to piece together the island. But my husband, like I said, is in construction. We have big hopes to rebuild the island, create a greener island, try to be more off the grid, building solar panels, building energy efficient homes, and perhaps rebuilding the schools so that my son wouldn't have to take a ferry boat to Marsh Harbor, that they could self-sustaining have schools on the island and medical clinics. So right now we're working really hard to raise funds because there is still devastation there. There is still people without food, water, and shelter, and it's really, really important. These are hospitable, amazing, faith-filled people who need our help. And like you said, the news cycle moves on, and this is an ongoing thing in the Bahamas.
So if I wanted to send $50 so your husband could get a non-sports affiliated hat, where would I send it?
Well, if you would like to donate, we are having a great fundraiser in Libertyville, Illinois at Mickey Finn's Brewery, October 23rd. And you can go to the eventbrite.com to link up with this event. And if you can't join us for the concert, which starts at 6 o'clock, doors open at 6:30, and then the band goes on at 7:30, and we'll be having a great time till about 10 o'clock at night.
So it's Mickey Finn's Brewery, October 23rd. And, yeah, where can we get tickets?
At 6 o'clock, eventbrite.com, and then if you search up the samples, Hurricane Dorian, or even Hurricane Dorian, you may find the event. Otherwise, you could Google Great Guana Key Foundation is another great way to donate. I just want to reiterate that the Bahamian government and the U.S. government has not been on the ground helping these people. There's 70,000 people, 1/3 of the Bahamian government, or the Bahamian population, that are still homeless, without jobs, without banks, without churches, without anything. And they've all been displaced. So it's out of the goodwill of the people, grassroots organizations, relief organizations that are actually helping these people. So what my foundation does is actually puts money back right into the hands of the people. It's not going through the Bahamian government or all kinds of channels. It's actually going to rebuilding their community centers. So I know the people personally running the foundation. They are from my island. They are very smart, wealthy people. Second home owners that usually live in Florida, but their dream home, their retirement home is on Great Wanakee, and they set up this foundation. So at my fundraiser, for every dollar that I raise, they're going to match it.
Oh, nice.
And up to $1 million. So we're looking to fill the house, and we want to raise as much money as we can to rebuild Great Wanakee so that paradise can be restored, so people can show up on their sailboats and have a nice rum punch and watch the sunset and dance the night away at Nippers.
All right, so I'm going to send money, but I'm not going to the party. I don't like people. I especially don't like drunk people. So I will send the money, all right?
You don't get to come, but send Amy. She'll have fun.
Yes. All right, Chrissy Snyder, thank you so much. And you have a blog that, can you tell everyone what your blog is so they can follow along?
Yes, my blog is called www.chrissysgonecoconuts.com.
I love it.
And you can follow the journey, how we came from Chicago and sold everything we own, our cars and everything, to move to this island paradise, and what it's like to live in
You're just rubbing it in. You're living a dream, except for the hurricane. It's the dream, baby.
And I know. I would, like, your son's school, does he need a volleyball coach?
Without the hurricane, this is a great story.
Oh, God. Well, Chrissy, good luck to you, and thank you so much for sharing your story. And
thank you for having me, Amy.
Thanks, Chrissy.
And everybody show up to Mickey Finn's.
Yep, Mickey
7
Finn's.
o'clock.
Yep, October 23rd.
Or send the money.
Mickey Finn's, October 23rd from 6 to 10 p.m., or you can send money. The Samples Hurricane Dorian Concert.eventbrite.com. And Chrissy joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The Lou Dobbs Financial Report is brought to you by Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Visit signaturebank.bank for your commercial banking needs.
I'm Lou Dobbs. President Trump meeting with China's vice premier today. Boeing and Porsche join forces on a flying car. Fidelity cuts online trading fees to 0. Those stories next.
A few years ago, my wife and I couldn't find great bedding in any stores, so we founded our own company. I'm Scott Tannen, the founder of Boll & Branch, the world's most comfortable sheets. My wife Missy and I spent months developing the super soft, organic cotton fabric we're now known for. Since then, we've helped millions of people, including 3 U.S. presidents, get a great night's sleep. You could compare them to $1,000 sheets, but we sell them for a fraction of the price, because spending that much on sheets is bonkers. Right now, check out our luxury flannel collection. It sells out every year. That's because Boll & Branch flannel is cozy but breathable. Cool sleepers and hot sleepers all love it. You can try us risk-free for 30 nights, but I think it'll only take one to convince you. And right now, get $50 off at bollandbranch.com with promo code CALM. That's spelled B-O-L-L and branch.com. Promo code CALM. Save $50 at bollandbranch.com with promo code CALM. bollandbranch.com, promo code CALM.
President Trump to meet at the White House today with the leader of China's negotiating team in D.C. for the latest round of trade talks. The president's hands-on approach comes as U.S. and Chinese negotiators try to end what has been a 15-month trade battle. Fidelity Investments yesterday eliminated commissions on online trading, joining a growing trend by established brokerages to ward off new competitors. E-Trade, Charles Schwab, and Ameritrade also cut their online trading fees to 0. Boeing Aerospace and Porsche are joining forces to develop a flying vehicle to transport people in urban settings. The concept is for a passenger car that can fly up to 50 miles. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Balance of nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I've had a corrective lens restriction on my driver's license for years and years, meaning that I have to drive with glasses. So my birthday came up and my license was going to expire on my birthday. So I went to the DMV, to get that renewed, and I passed the eye exam without glasses. And the lady, she's just looking at me going, how does that even work? She goes, you aced the whole thing. And I said, well, I started taking these supplements, and I started explaining it to her. And I tell everybody about it. It's been a huge blessing for me, for sure. I'll be on this stuff for the rest of my life. It's amazing.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. From now until Columbus Day, Balance of Nature is offering $25 off and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. This special is ending between now and October 14th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Remember when you could pick up the phone and talk to a friendly voice for technical difficulties?
Yeah, now it's a help desk on the other side of the planet that knows nothing about my business and usually isn't much help at all.
I got stuck in a help chat room the other day, and it was endless back and forth. I don't think they ever really understood or cared about my issue.
It's tough to get great technical help these days. To find people that really care and invest in your success. That's what Turnkey IT does. And you can rely on them to take care of everything IT, as if they were right by your side, but without the expense of an in-house IT department. Get to know the local team members at Turnkey IT that continue to serve businesses just like yours, from 1 to 200 employees. A friendly face with a personal touch that's close by and believes your word really means something. For only $7.95 per month, you can have local IT help and forget about dealing with computer and network problems forever.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Take a moment and picture your daughter. Society puts this unbelievable pressure on her to achieve, to win, to project perfection, and it affects her. I'm Dan Proft, and I've told you about Northridge Prep for boys. Now I'd like to tell you about their sister school, Willows Academy. Girls thrive at Willows because the pressure just isn't there. There's no boys to create a social pecking order. It's a culture where what matters is how good a friend you are, not Instagram. Their all-female faculty create a warm environment where girls can be their best, not perfect. And not surprisingly, in this environment, girls actually do achieve. The Willows goal is to produce leaders, and it succeeds. Willows girls attend the top universities like MIT and Notre Dame. Willows has a strong liberal arts curriculum, small class sizes, personalized attention, and one-on-one mentoring. They're an independent Catholic school for grades 6 through 12 with your strong values. Learn more at their open house on November 3rd. Register online at willowsacademy.org. That's willowsacademy.org.
This is Attorney Stephen Leahy, host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here on AM 560 every Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. Let me tell you about Bill. Bill's business slowed down and he fell behind on his taxes. Instead of filing his tax return, he decided to wait until he could pay. Well, 1 year turned to 2, turned to 3. Then the IRS threatened to contact his customers, take his house, his bank account, and his passport. Well, Bill hired me. We filed all of his tax returns and an appeal to slow the IRS down. Then we worked out an installment agreement based on how much he could pay, not on how much he owed. Now Bill can rely on the IRS protection plan. We will file his future tax returns and keep the IRS off his back so Bill can focus on growing his business. If you have questions about the IRS, you can get a copy of my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today, to learn the secrets of solving your IRS problem and save your business, your marriage, and your reputation. Call 312-664-6649 or go to freeirsbook.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
We just got a nice gift here in the studio.
I'll tell you what, I feel like one of those Chicago teacher unions about to strike. They're dropping off donuts here. You see these things?
Donuts.
Krispy Kreme Donuts is celebrating Halloween by unleashing the new Monster Bash donuts.
I'm looking at them, and they look really good. But
they're available now through Halloween. And listen to this. I mean, these people are very serious about donuts. The Spooky Collection consists of 3 festive
Here, hand
donuts.
me the Spooky Collection so I can show people watching. Because people are watching on the web, Sean.
Man, look at this.
There's many media
This should
platforms
come
here.
with cocoa butter for your stomach.
Oh,
Look at the size of those things. All right.
All right, what do we have here?
You got Slimin', the Slime Monster donuts.
This one with the
Just
green
picture,
eye.
Picture 7 executives sitting around in suits coming up with names for donuts. You got Mumford, the Mummy Monster donut.
Oh, the Mummy Monster donut's cute. This is a Mumford.
You got Hypno Henry,
Hypno Henry.
the Monster Batter donut.
Okay.
Yeah. Too bad Bruce Wolf
And
put
then-
all his money in the Krispy Kreme stock
And then you
early.
have a
He'd be making it
pumpkin.
back now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. Look at it.
All right. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we have the one, the only Bret Baier will be joining us.
Bret Baier?
Yeah.
I love Bret Baier.
The former ambassador to Ukraine is supposed to be testifying on Capitol Hill today. We'll see whether or not the White House is going to block that testimony.
And can we talk favorite cars from the 80s with Bret Baier? You know, he's a car guy.
Oh, yeah, we will. But first, let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Temperatures falling across the state this morning. 2 teens wounded in a shooting outside a mall in Calumet City. Negotiations continue between the CTU and the city. Fire breaks out in a West Loop Starbucks. Chicago Marathon is this Sunday as the White Sox will be celebrating along with Jason Benetti on a television network this weekend. Blackhawks fall to the Sharks in the home opener. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
The president takes aim at Joe and Hunter Biden. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The Bidens got rich. And that is substantiated.
President Trump at a rally last night in Minneapolis called Hunter Biden a loser, said Joe Biden isn't very smart, talking about what the Biden campaign calls lies and conspiracy theories about Ukraine, and the president called impeachment insane.
This is nothing but a partisan witch hunt, sabotage.
House Democrats hope to question someone else this morning in their impeachment inquiry, though. Former ambassador to the Ukraine, Maria Yovanovitch. They've also subpoenaed Energy Secretary Rick Perry.
In a letter to Perry, the chairman of the House Intelligence, Foreign Affairs, and Oversight Committees want to know about the Energy Secretary's role in a phone call between President Trump and Ukraine's president, as well as efforts to install a new board on a Ukrainian-owned energy firm.
It's Fox's Jared Halpern. Another oil tanker's been attacked in the Middle East. Fox's Simon Owen has details live.
Dave, Iran saying one of its state-owned oil tankers has been hit by 2 missiles as it traveled through the Red Sea off the coast of Saudi Arabia. This coming just under a month after the U.S. blamed Iran for a missile attack on Saudi oil installations. Iranian news reports say the ship caught fire, but the crew is safe. Iran's foreign ministry is warning of consequences, also suggesting oil has spilled into the sea. Dave?
Simon, the Nobel Peace Prize was given out this morning to Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, honored for ending a border conflict with neighboring country Eritrea. A wildfire is burning this morning in the Los Angeles area, burning several homes, evacuating several neighborhoods, closing 2 freeways.
It's incredible how fast these fires move, and I'm just grateful for the firemen.
Another fire in Calumet, east of L.A., destroyed dozens of mobile homes. An 89-year-old woman reported missing. This is more than 500,000 homes and businesses still without electricity in central and northern California. The power cut to prevent fires. Many could have it restored today. America's listening to Fox News.
66 degrees at 7:02. Here on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chances are we've seen the warmest part of the day already in northern Illinois. Chicago area will see temperatures fall from the mid-60s this morning to the low 30s by this evening. Teachers at a Chicago charter school could be headed for a strike later this month. Educators at Passages Elementary School in Edgewater announcing yesterday they will walk off the job October 22nd if they don't have a deal. And the clock continues to tick for the Chicago Teachers Union and the city of Chicago to reach a contact deal before next week's looming strike date.
The truth of the matter is I can't put out a notice for our delegates to come in at midnight, have people meet at 4 in the morning, and then get ready to turn around or 2 in the morning and then turn around and teach at 6 in the morning. That's not the way that's going to work. We're going to need some time to read it.
CTU President Jesse Sharkey saying even though they're under pressure, he will not be pressured into accepting a last-minute deal. 2 teens are wounded following a shooting outside the River Oaks Center Mall in Calumet City. Both boys, a 17 and 18-year-old, are both shooting victims. A 17-year-old boy and an 18-year-old woman are hospitalized with serious injuries. An investigation is underway following a shooting in Joliet that left 1 man dead, another critically wounded. Police say the victims were shot yesterday near Crakar and Elgin Avenues. One of the men died in a nearby hospital. The other remains in critical condition this morning. Blackhawks led early and often, but fell apart late in a 5-4 loss to the Sharks in the Blackhawks home opener. They host Winnipeg tomorrow night. The news service of Mattress Firm. At Mattress Firm for a limited time, take home a free adjustable base with the purchase of $699. Plus, get up to $400 in savings and enjoy 0% APR for 6 years. 0 down, 0 due at signing. Shop the Save Big Sale online or in-store. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hi, it's Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson.
The boys from Crumweedy Home Pros.
Call Crumweedy! Yep, that's us.
Listen, we know it was a horrible winter,
followed by a horrible spring.
You may have held off thinking about getting your project done with the crazy weather we've had, but we want you to know we prepared for that.
Our pros are ready to work overtime if needed to get your project done before the next horrible winter.
No, not another rough winter. This past one was bad enough.
Call us today, and we'll get it done right, and we'll get it done now.
Call Crumweedy!
Whoa, guys, don't forget, we offer 12 months, same as cash. Now, go ahead, carry on.
Roofs, gutters, windows, and siding.
You know you can trust Crumweedy to do a great job and give you a fair price.
630-595-8020.
And watch out for the door-to-door fly-by-night guys. Here today, gone forever. You deserve better.
Call us now for special offers on roofs, windows, siding, and gutters.
Call Crumweedy!
630-595-8020.
Crumweedy Home Pros. We're ready.
Starting route now. Turn right at Fortress Mountain. Turn left at Mount Hood. Head south to Moab, Utah. Continue on the Great North American Test Drive.
Run with us on a John Deere Gator XUV 835. With our quietest cab ever and optional heat and AC, and a four-wheel independent suspension, it's built to run where no one else can. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
I'm Dr. Jeff Gooden, and I treat pain with Salonpas. That's because practicing good medicine is my responsibility as a doctor. For back or joint pain, I agree with CDC guidance that recommends using topical pain relievers first, like Salonpas Patch Large. Salonpas is powerful, FDA approved to relieve debilitating moderate pain, yet non-addictive and gentle on the body. Look for the green Salonpas box in the pain relief aisle. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
My name is David Hochberg. If you'd like to pay off debt, call Team Hochberg now about a cash-out refinance. During May, Team Hochberg helped listeners access $953,000 to pay off credit cards, student loans, car loans, medical bills, collections, and IRS tax liens, which saved them close to $19,000 a month. Since January, Team Hochberg has saved listeners over $74,000 a month, which is an annualized savings of over $888,000. What are you waiting for? Call Team Hochberg now to see if we can help you pay off debt and substantially reduce your monthly payments with a cash-out refinance. Think of all the things you could do with an extra $500, $1,000, or $1,500 a month that you'd be saving. Call Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1124061.
Staples gives your business more for less. It's where your ink is in stock and at low prices. And right now at Staples, all HP ink cartridges are buy one, get one 30% off. Ends 10/12/19. Restrictions apply. See store or staples.com/ink savings for details. Staples.
7:07 AM 560 traffic center time. Jim Telemonte.
Inbound Bishop Ford Freeway traffic is jammed. 115th merge, 45 minutes from 8094 to the Ryan. I-57, 32 minutes from I-80 to the merge. Then the Ryan, running 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. A crash at 91st Street, adding to those delays on I-57 and the Bishop Ford Freeway. Hayden's 24 minutes, like Cook to the junction. Outbound 21. Kennedy, 38 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 19 from Montrose, 20 in the express lanes. Outbound 32 minutes to the airport. Eisenhower, 42 minutes, 390 to downtown. 28 from Manhunt. Outbound 34 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 46 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 38. Northbound Tri-State delays start at the 83rd Street toll. I'm Jim Telemonte. On AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Clouds breezy, cooler today. Showers, thunderstorms, high 64. Temperatures fall to the 40s. Partly cloudy, breezy, chilly tonight, low 33. Sun and clouds tomorrow and Sunday, windy and cooler, high both days 52. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
66, we've had on and off light rain showers through the morning. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning. Amy Jacobson here. Sean Thompson.
Yep.
In for me. I'm sitting in for Dan Proft while Dan's enjoying a mancation with his buddies. Golfing up in northern Michigan. Doesn't sound nice.
So they say. There's a lot of twister going on, I think. But anyway, we got Bret Baier on the line. No time for tomfoolery.
I know, but
I'm a
all right,
big
so
fan.
today's the big day. Yet another person is supposed to testify in the impeachment probe into President Trump, the former ambassador to the Ukraine. Will she do it?
I just don't think you're running a country. I just don't think that you can have all of these people testifying about every conversation you've had. No, I don't think people should be allowed. You have to run a country. I don't think you should be allowed to do that.
And Maria Yanovich, the ousted American ambassador to the Ukraine, is set to testify, but will the White House block her like they did Sondland earlier? Let's begin there with Bret Baier as we welcome him back to our Turnkey.pro answer line. Good morning, Bret Baier. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well.
So what do you think is going to happen this morning?
You know, I think the White House is definitely playing hardball with this process and arguing that they're not getting a fair process. And without a House inquiry vote, they're saying that it's not legitimate because the minority doesn't have rights. So I wouldn't be surprised if they say she can't testify. But so far, we haven't heard that from the White House. And you'd think we would have heard that by now.
Yeah, and last time, though, they waited until 30 minutes, I think, before the hearing was going to begin, before they announced it.
Bret, I've been waiting like a year and a half to talk to you. So let's get down to business, kid.
All right, Sean.
Would the 1985 Rudy Giuliani prosecute the 2019 Rudy Giuliani?
I think he might, actually. It depends on what they find. Clearly, these two guys, according to the indictment, had some shady things going on, funneling some money into the American political system, a number of campaigns, including the president's, if true. That's what the indictment charges. But we don't know what we don't know. Giuliani says he's going to have his day where he lays it all out and says exactly what was happening. The problem is that Ukraine is corrupt on all sides, and you can look to Ukraine as a Rorschach test, and depending on which side you're looking at, there's corruption on that side.
All right, listen, I'm going to ignore your Rumsfeld because the reality is, do we know how much money? And do we also further know, is there any information if these are the two guys that allegedly were working with Rudy and who knows who else to open up the oil company or the oil liaison? I mean, is the irony just it's insane to me what's going on.
First of all, these two guys look like they're straight out of Central Casting. I mean, look, and they're the videos
They
of
really
them
do.
and Rudy Giuliani yucking it up.
Yeah, with
he
the
looks like
yard
he had
heads.
a
Yeah.
hard night of dancing or something. This is just, and they were picked up on a one-way ticket to get to Vienna there via Dulles Airport.
Is there any validity to the fact that it does look as if a company was being set up to work as a cohort to the Ukrainian oil system? Is that true? Could that even be? Could they be that dumb?
Maybe. I know that this has been under investigation for a long time. That is a fact. I know that Attorney General Barr was aware and briefed on all of it and was aware that the arrest was being made. That is a fact. So I know all of this. I think that what I don't know is the extent of the evidence about Giuliani and setting up the oil company. So we're going to have to wait and see what comes down evidence-wise.
So now, Rudy Giuliani, please tell me he's going to be sidelined from the Sunday morning talk shows and that Trey Gowdy is now, I know he's part of Trump's legal team on possible impeachment, but is he going to be, have a lesser role now in President Trump's life?
It seems, just by the reaction by Trump, Seculo, his other attorney, kind of backing away. A lot of sentences that said, well, we didn't know any of this and we don't know those guys. So I would think that he's not front and center. Gowdy's got to wait a little while because of lobbying rules. The president talked about that yesterday. So it's not probably until January that he comes on board.
All right, forgive my McLaughlin group here, but you're Bret Baier, for God's sakes. I want to ask you about this. It's driving me nuts. Could it possibly be that it is going to be exposed by Trump's bold move in Syria, that since Barack Obama sent an executive order where we were sent to protect those Kurds, that those Kurds are in fact the PKK communist Kurds? Will that ever be revealed? Because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like we were protecting communists for the last 6 years, and I find that troubling.
Well, that's not what the guys, the special forces on the ground who've been working with these Kurds say. They say that they were, trying to protect that property and those ISIS fighters. They're still guarding the ISIS jails. I don't know. There's a mixture of Kurds. Large Kurd, small Kurd. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
There's
getting hungry.
There's all kinds of different Kurds there.
Right.
In that region. And all I know is that I've talked directly to special forces guys who worked alongside of them and said they were tough fighters against the ISIS fighters.
Yeah, but what do you think about, people on the left just saying that this is President Trump's wag the dog moment, that, diverting attention from one serious matter to another, that's why he abruptly on Sunday night decided to remove troops from northern Syria?
I don't think it was that calculated. Just talking to people at the White House, it seemed like it kind of went off the rails quickly, and they're trying to put the genie back in the bottle. But we'll see. Erdogan jumped on it and moved his forces in, and now they're talking about trying to get some ceasefire and maybe some sanctions against Turkey, but action's already happening on the ground.
So wouldn't it be, though, Brett, I remember in the 90s when I was paying attention between cheerleaders, I remember that there was a fight within the Kurds, that it was this radical Marxist group, the PKK Kurds. And I distinctly remember them having their position in Syria, which was, or they were on that Turkey border, and it was wreaking havoc from the Kurds that were trying to transport, and at that time I believe it was gasoline, going back and forth, and they were bombing their own people. So if it is revealed that these are in fact those Kurds, that would be a tremendous scandal, would it not?
It would be. It would be. As I said, it's tough to parse people that were kind of, they don't wear uniforms.
You don't have to mention me when you break the story. You don't have to mention me, but a little. God, I wouldn't be offended.
All right. I'll cite you.
Thank you.
He's very humble.
According to sources in Chicago.
Yeah, Sean from Elmwood Park.
There you go.
Another big story yesterday that came out moments before President Trump took the stage for his first rally since this impeachment probe began was that the first whistleblower, actually worked for Vice President Joe Biden. Do you have any more details on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the extent of our knowledge, is that it looks like not as a candidate and not as a Democratic candidate, and that was the parsing of the lawyer's statement, but as vice president, which is, very conceivable in an NSC kind of setting. Some of these career folks go from administration to administration. But, it's another element to this whole thing.
Right, but are you surprised at the great lengths that they're going to go to allow him to testify, take him to an undisclosed location, have him sit behind a screen so nobody can see him, distort his voice so nobody could pick out who he is, and it's all hearsay information and not firsthand information?
Yeah, we don't know if that's it. You know what I mean? It could be here. It's the telephone call and some conversations. And if that's it, we already have the transcript. So it's like we know more than he did.
It's all very Dr. Strangelove. I love it. I'm going to McLaughlin group you one more time.
Oh, boy.
Hong Kong. Could it be that the turmoil...
Issue 2.
That the turmoil that we saw was a ramification of the new trade policies that were started in the Trump administration, as Hong Kong was the biggest benefactor from the American trade agreements or the trade policies that were already in place. And that when we implemented this trade war, when we started it, they suffered first and the hardest, and therefore the upheaval began.
You Alex Jones over there?
What do you think? Come on, that's good stuff. That's a good question.
You have a lot of...
Boy, he's got a lot of free time on his hands, huh?
Feel free to borrow that question. Go ahead.
lot of bank shots going on here.
Right.
I do think that triple cushion. I do think that it is tied to the trade now. I think that that's a fair thing. That the China trade talks and what's happening in Hong Kong. The reason the president hasn't come out and given a forceful speech is in part because it's part of the deal. And I think that as far as what the feelings are on the ground in Hong Kong and whether that's resulting of the initial trade talks, I'm not sure about that. I do know that the Chinese are in town here today, and they're optimistic at the White House.
All right. 85 Buick Riviera or Tornado? Which one you like?
Tornado.
See, I didn't know you were a car buff. I knew you played golf and everything. And also, you're an author, and your latest book, 3 Days at the Brink, FDR's Daring Gamble to Win World War II, the release date is coming up on October 22nd. How can we pre-order your book?
Just anything that sells books. Amazon, also BretBaier.com. Pre-order the book. Excited about it. I'll be in Chicago. There's I forget the date, but it's one of the early stops at the university.
All right. I got a cigar store. Cigar on me when you're ready.
University Club, so we could go to BretBaier.com and get the information?
Yes, all the dates are on there.
Okay, great.
He's more interested in the cigar. Tell her.
It's exciting.
Well, you can tell him Sean owns a cigar store and he wants you to stop
by.
by.
Come by me. First one's free, second one double price. You're going to love it.
Fantastic. I love it.
Thank you so much, Bret Baier.
I can hear some more shot stories. Nice shot stories.
You got it. You got it.
Thank you, Bret Baier. Again, Fox News anchor and author of the new book, 3 Days at the Brink, FDR's Daring Gamble to Win World War II. Again, the release date is October 22nd, but go to BretBaier.com for more information and find out how you could see him when he's here in Chicago. Bret Baier joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real, natural-looking hair back permanently. They're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts MORE to 85850. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. You wash it. You cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text MORE to 85850. That's MORE to 85850.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, that's the My Pillow. And this is my segment, Toots. I don't need you cutting in on it.
Toots.
I know. So we're having a little contest. Let's let the
we are
people
having
in.
a contest. So go to mypillow.com, put Amy, AMY in the promo code.
It's Liberty. Liberty. You could name your body pillow, Amy. You put Liberty in the code. This way I get the credit for it. It is an incredible product. Number one, the pillows are phenomenal. But
I can't live without my pillow.
I'm that serious.
I got my travel pillow yesterday in the mail because I lost my first one, and it changed.
How do you lose a pillow?
I bring the travel pillow with me everywhere, and I have to ride the school bus to go to these games. I just bring out my pillow, and it helps.
That's
with
the story you told the husband.
But listen, you spoke of the CEO, Mike Lindell. He was mentioned last night by President Trump at the rally in Minnesota.
Mike Lindell, my pillow.
Mike comes out late.
Next, you're going to put in Trump for the code.
I have never seen so many ads. I think he's the greatest ad negotiator in history. And I told him, I said, would you do me a favor? All the money we spend in these political campaigns, if I gave some of that money to Mike, I think it would have ads every single minute of every single show.
I love the New York thing going on.
Amy promo code.
He forgot to say to put in promo code Liberty. MyPillow.com. Promo code Liberty. 800-489 0201.
Tell them Amy sent you.
Stop wasting energy. There's a better way. Your company could be receiving energy efficiency incentives by recycling waste heat from on-site power generation equipment and turning it into useful energy. The federal government is pushing utility companies to be more efficient. In turn, utility companies are offering incentives for your business. Charles Equipment can help get you up and running with cogeneration, also known as CHP, combined heat and power, a clean and efficient way to generate heat and power. CHP systems can supply at least a portion of a building's electrical load and capture waste heat from hot exhaust gases for use in heating, cooling, hot water, and dehumidification. Charles Equipment can install and manage the cogen equipment at your facility and help your energy use become 70 to 90% more efficient. Start making better, more energy efficient decisions and save money in the process. Call Charles Equipment 630-834-6000 or online at charlesequipment.com. Reliable industrial generators. They've got the power.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I've had a corrective lens restriction on my driver's license for years and years, meaning that I have to drive with glasses. So my birthday came up and my license was going to expire on my birthday. So I went to the DMV, to get that renewed, and I passed the eye exam without glasses. And the lady, she's just looking at me going, how does that even work? She goes, you aced the whole thing. And I said, well, I started taking these supplements, and I started explaining it to her. And I tell everybody about it. It's been a huge blessing for me, for sure. I'll be on this stuff for the rest of my life. It's amazing.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. From now until Columbus Day, Balance of Nature is offering $25 off and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. This special is ending between now and October 14th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
AM 560. The Answer.
Where'd you go? You're supposed to fill in.
My glasses were dirty. I had to clean my glasses.
Oh, you had to clean your glasses. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, this is a story I've been jonesing to tell you about all morning.
All right, I'm right here.
It is, and I tease it by saying what it is. Proof that you can't force someone into counseling. This story takes us, it's a local story. A Des Plaines woman, her name is Fatma. She's 41 years old. She's in a relationship with a man from Mount Prospect, my hometown.
Let's call him Pigeon.
And things weren't working out so well between the two. So she thought, you know what, we've got to go to counseling. Because that's what a lot of people do, right? Have you ever been to marriage counseling?
What do you think? Of course I
Of course you And it's worked, because how many years have you been married?
Never worked. Yeah. It's, first of all, you know how it worked? Yeah. I looked at my wife. I said, have you had enough of this nonsense from this crackpot? Crackpot. Half of these marriage counselors are divorced. You frauds. Go ahead.
All right. So what happened was she decided that they need help with their relationship. So Sunday night, she went over to his home. She struck him in the face with an object, tied his hands with rope, and told him that she's taking him to Pennsylvania to meet with a cleric who could help repair their relationship.
Yeah.
So initially, obviously, the man refused to go with her. And then, when he was bound and gagged, he said, okay, I'll go with you. So she threw him in the car, and he escaped out of the ties, ran to his neighbor's house, and called 911.
They have a description of Fatwa?
No, well, you can see her mugshot. She's 41. She has been charged.
What about the girth? What's
kidnapping
the size
charges?
How'd she beat up a guy?
She hit him in the face with an object when he wasn't looking.
Come on, he's a man, for God's sakes.
Faces kidnapping charges, which carries a maximum sentence of 7 years in prison. So, again, the judge, by the way, ordered her to have no contact with the man.
Oh, smart.
And she had to surrender her passport and also submit to electronic home monitoring and GPS monitoring. And this is another reason why.
And that's another reason why Dan Proft is single.
And here's a little tip for you boys and girls out there. If you have to go to counseling before you're actually legally bound in marriage, break up with each other, morons. It's not working out. If you can't get along during the happy times, I don't think I had a crossword with my wife.
Really?
It wasn't until after we were
your...
legally bound that we had all the, little tense.
And since my attention span is that of a fly today, how long did you say you've been married?
20 years.
Oh, so this is your 20th year. Yeah. And are you empty nesters yet?
No.
Oh, you still have one in college.
You see the
or high
economy
school.
today? No one's an empty nester.
Because he
He's got
can't
their
afford it.
grandkids living with him, for God's sake.
All right, so wait, how long, real quick, how long did you go to counseling?
About 7 or 8 times. You know, I
Mhm.
had to move out of the house. It was very dramatic.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Your lady don't
How long
mess
did you
around.
move out
She'll
for?
hit you with a ban.
Well, what was it? Infidelity? What was
No, infidelity. You kidding me? I don't know. Just disagreements over things. You know, when you're raising kids and you argue, and you know, it's very hard. Guys who are traders at the Merc are very hard to get along with in every aspect. Or the board of
no
trade.
kidding.
We're all very hard to get along with. That's why we only get along with each other.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, but things are working out well and everything's back.
Yes, everything's great. I'm not going anywhere now. We're going to just outlive each other. And may the winner go on the first date. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, our city is preparing for an international running extravaganza. Yes, the 42nd annual Chicago Marathon is going to be taking place on Sunday. And we have a flying nun who wants to win the race. We'll be talking to a sister. Oh, boy.
I'm not giving money to anybody. I mean, you guys are beating me down today with the show. We got the hurricane victims, nuns. What are you throwing
We'll
everything
hear
at?
from the running nun coming up. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
66 degrees. Lawmakers expect to hear from the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine today. In the House impeachment inquiry of President Trump, career diplomat Marie Yovanovitch was abruptly recalled from Ukraine in May. 1,900 homes in California's San Fernando Valley are under evacuation. More could follow as a raging wildfire has grown to at least 4,600 acres. L.A. Fire Department Chief Deputy Al Pornier says the fire began near the L.A. 210 freeway.
About 9 o'clock last night, we experienced a fire start here near the 210 freeway. That fire, the wind got...
As you can hear, the wind is drowning out the deputy fire captain there. The wind is what caused the Saddle Ridge fire, first spotted in Sylmar, to expand. Wind gusts have been pegged as high as 60 miles an hour as that blaze quickly spread. President Trump accusing former VP Joe Biden of allowing his family to get rich while America, he says, got robbed.
Only a good vice president because he understood how to kiss Barack Obama's.
That's just part of what the president had to say about the frontrunner for the 2020 Democrat presidential nomination for now, last night in Minneapolis. Chances are we've seen the warmest part of this day in northern Illinois. Forecasters say Chicago area temps will tumble throughout the day. 60s now, 40s midday, 30s by the time of kickoff for your local high school football contest. Teachers at a Chicago area charter school could be headed for a strike. Educators at Passages Elementary and Edgewater announcing they'll walk off the job October 22nd. Meantime, the clock is ticking for the Chicago Teachers Union and the City of Chicago to reach a contract agreement by October 17. 2 teens wounded following a shooting outside the River Oaks Center Mall in Calumet City. An investigation is underway following a shooting in Joliet that left 1 man dead and another critically hurt. There have been no arrests in that case. White Sox television announcer Jason Benetti will be featured on this weekend's edition of CBS Sunday Morning. Play-by-play broadcaster will reflect on achieving his childhood dream of broadcasting for the White Sox while living with cerebral palsy. Blackhawks led early and often, but in the end fell to the Sharks in the home opener 5-4. Hawks host Winnipeg tomorrow night. Blackhawks host, the Bulls visit the Pacers tonight. Fighting Illini welcome number 16 Michigan to Champaign tomorrow in college football, while our NIU Huskies visit Ohio U with an expected kick time of 2:30 on AM 560. The news service of Mattress Firm. At Mattress Firm for a limited time, take home a free adjustable base with purchase of $699, plus get up to $400 in savings. Enjoy 0% APR for 6 years. 0 down, 0 due at signing. Shop the Save Big Sale online or in-store. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Tickets for Freedom Summit 2019 sold out in record time in response to the high demand. We've opened up an overflow room for attendees to watch the event on Saturday, November 2nd at the Westin Chicago Northwest. Overflow tickets are on sale now, but are selling fast. Get yours at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Clear Financial Strategies, Tom Mirabali, independent health insurance agent with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Monarch Technical, and by Charles Equipment Energy Systems.
Want your home's furnace to stay safe and reliable? And want to prevent any potential problems before they happen? At your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we recommend an annual furnace inspection and tune-up. Right now, get big savings on a furnace tune-up. Call 855-1-HOUR. Because not taking care of your furnace, that's just cold.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Hilco Industrial is bringing you a 2-day live on-site and webcast auction from a Chicagoland fastener manufacturer that you won't want to miss. Featuring a complete machine shop, large quantity of hand and power tools, test and measurement equipment, forklifts, pallet racking, tables, storage, general plant support, and much more. Auction Day 1 takes place October 16th in Cherry Valley, Illinois. Day 2 takes place October 17th in Wheaton, Illinois. Bid in person or online starting at 9 a.m. both days. Visit HilcoIND.com or call 1-877-37 Hilco for more details.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
And balance of nature for my energy and everything, it does make it much easier for me. I love it. I really, I tell everybody about it. And I love when they have these shows when the doctor speaks and all. So it really, it lifts your spirits too, knowing that there's somebody out there that really wants to help you and has come up with something this good. So I'm happy.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. From now until Columbus Day, Balance of Nature is offering $25 off and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. This special is ending between now and October 14th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
7:35 AM 560 traffic center time. Jim Talamonte.
Northbound Lakeshore Drive, traffic is heavy from the Stevenson to Jackson, then from Randolph to the Oak Street curve with a crash blocking 3 left lanes. Southbound, we see heavy delays from Lawrence to the Oak Street curve. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction. Kennedy, 44 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 27 from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Eisenhower, 48 minutes, 390 to downtown. 30 from Manheim. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. There was a crash at 91st, now gone. I-57 is 35 minutes. I-80 to the Merge Bishop Ford, 45. Northbound Veterans Memorial, traffic slow 75th to the Reagan Tollway. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Cloudy, breezy, cooler, showers and thunderstorms throughout the morning. High 64, and we're there right now. And we'll get very chilly in the midday, in the mid-40s, and then 33 overnight, and a high of only 52 tomorrow with winds hitting 35 miles an hour. 66 at O'Hare, 64 Lakefront. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by On Target Radio. From firearms and Second Amendment rights to personal freedoms and government intrusions. Listen here Sunday nights at 9.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
We're getting ready for the marathon. Oh, yeah. We're stretching out, doing our long run today. We got to go. I think we have to do 20 miles today. And then tomorrow we can do 10. And then Sunday we'll be good to go. Really.
Yeah. I was made for staying, not running.
No, I've run 3 Chicago marathons, and you have to train for months ahead of time. But you always know that one guy who doesn't train at all and then decides, I'm going to do the marathon. Yeah. And they finish in about 7-8 hours. You can walk it in 9.
Good thing for socialized medicine, we have to pay when he collapses for the moron.
Well, Chicago Marathon is this Sunday, and there's one special runner we want to introduce you to. Her name is Sister Stephanie Baliga. She's organizer and co-founder of the Mission of Our Lady of the Angels charity team running the Chicago Marathon on Sunday. Good morning, Sister Stephanie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So how is it? What did you do, 20 or 18 for your long run this time to get ready?
Oh, 20. Always 20.
Oh, see? She knows. All right. So why are you going to be running in your habit, or are you going to be running in?
Yeah, she's going to be running in her habit.
Well,
Hey, come on, are you nuts?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I don't run in my habit. It's too long. I would trip and fall and die.
Well, people.
So no, I wear a different outfit.
All right. So what are you going to wear? It's all about the fashion show.
I wear a t-shirt and a bandana over my head, and then I wear like a running skirt that goes to my knee-ish.
Okay.
How proud her dad must be. All I keep thinking about is her dad. How proud. What's your daughter going to do? She's going to be a nun, and then she's going to run in marathons with a skirt on. I mean, are you nuts? You're a dream for a father. It's phenomenal.
Well, you're a former D1 athlete. You were on cross country, right, at University of Illinois?
Yes, correct.
All right. So what made you? Is this your first Chicago Marathon?
I ran my first Chicago Marathon in 2010.
Okay. Well, what makes this one different? Because you're raising money. Tell us about the charity you're raising money for.
We've been raising money since 2011 for Mission of Our Lady of the Angels. So we've had a charity team since 2011, and this year we're going to cross over $800,000 raised cumulatively. This year alone, we're going to probably raise $200,000 if everyone donates, because we're at like 149 right now, 149,000.
Sean will kick in the other 50.
Yeah, she
if
is
you
like
got
an
this guy the
earner.
right way.
She is an earner for the church. Boy.
I don't know how you guys
love
do
it.
that. I hate asking people for money.
Yeah.
But all right, so just where does the money? You say that you're running for God. Can you explain?
Yeah. So I mean, there's two aspects of that. First, the charity team. We work with the poor on the west side of Chicago. So we work in West Humboldt Park, one of the most difficult areas in the city right now. So we're running to help support the poor there. And then also, I personally believe is. You sounds like you might agree because you've run some marathons, that running is a good way to get in close, to pray and to connect with God, and that you're really giving yourself in a way to something larger than yourself.
Yeah, I find yoga more spiritual, I have to tell you.
I think drowning would be a way to get in touch with God. As you're drowning, you're doing a lot of praying. I'll give you 20%. Just get me out of this. Yeah, I get it.
Are any other? I've never known of. Are any other nuns running the marathon with you?
Oh yeah, there's a group of them. They run in flocks.
Yeah, there's one of our other sisters is running. She's running. She just joined the community a couple weeks ago, and she is running. Her name is Libby.
All right.
So I got to ask you a question, not about running. Are you seeing a ramification of the rejection of this particular pope's political philosophy among your, I don't want to say constituents, congregation? Are you seeing because I'm telling you my own personal thing.
Are you Catholic?
I was. And, after all of this that I see, I am just disgusted every time I hear more and more nonsense that's pushing us towards this earthly utopia of socialism. Are you seeing a blowback among other Catholic men? Am I the only one that thinks like this? I'm curious.
I think that
we're in a very interesting circumstance. So we're in a really interesting circumstance in that we're really away from although we're doing work with the poor and work with those in need, we are super far away from the actual ramifications of anything said from anybody that's in power. Honestly, in that we're kind of lost and forgotten over here. So we are doing our thing, and we are honestly really separated from the quote unquote ramifications of anyone's political or theological rhetoric. So we are able to we function to give to our neighbor and to be able to give as we believe Jesus would have wanted us to the poor, to help them in their times of need.
Okay, so if we want to help, where do we go?
If you want to help, you can go to missionola.com, and you can either donate, or if anybody wants to volunteer and help, that information is on the website as well.
Now, how do you go from being a D1 athlete to becoming a nun? What was your moment where you decided, you know what, this is what I want to do with my life?
Yeah, for sure. So I broke my foot my sophomore year in college at University of Illinois, and from that point, I obviously was spending a lot of time running. I was the 6th fastest freshman in the nation in 2006.
Wow.
So running had become an extremely important part of my life. So from that point where I broke my foot, I was forced to reevaluate my life choices and lifestyle and everything that I was doing. So from there, I was raised Catholic, but really didn't care and was not invested in any capacity. So during this injury, I turned back, started going to Mass more regularly, and started to hang out with people at the Newman Center on campus. And from there, ended up developing a relationship with Jesus, and especially in the Eucharist. And then from there, have ended up discerning my vocation.
Tell your father I nicknamed him Lucky, will you, at the end of the interview? I mean, you started out in college.
Yeah.
I have a college student. You know the stress your father went through. You know, it's crazy. And then, this happens to you. It's a wonderful story. It really is.
Yeah. And now, how fast do you want to complete? Do you have a goal set for time on Sunday?
So, great question. So Sunday, I didn't actually train a ton for this particular race. Hopefully I'm gonna try to run with somebody else, and he's gonna try to run 3:05. So hopefully I'll be with him at the finish. Hopefully we'll be there at 3:05.
And what time? 3:30?
3:05.
Oh wow, 3:05.
I got $20 says you beat him. Let's see how this turns out. Call back on Monday.
You should be the rabbit, and he can follow her.
He actually trained, so we'll see how it goes. He actually trained, so we'll see how it goes.
You mentioned you did another marathon. What was your time for that one?
My PR in the marathon's 2:53.
Oh my gosh! So are you going to do Boston? Because you qualified for it, or you can.
That's a great question. At some point, I'm going to run Boston. Okay. I don't know when. I do hope to run it at some point. Unclear when. But I hope to.
All right. I once smoked 3 cigars in an hour and a half. Can you believe it? All right.
You know what, sister? I'd love to see you and Sean out running together.
Yeah.
Maybe you go for a light
That'd be
jog.
Not the first time I ran from a nun.
Is he gonna smoke while we run?
Absolutely. How do you think we're going to clear the field for us?
Sister, it's part of the deal. All right, Sister Stephanie Baliga, thank you so much for joining us. She's organizer and co-founder of the Mission of Our Lady of the Angels charity. And if you'd like to donate to her cause, missionola.com/marathon. Thank you so much, sister, and good luck on Sunday.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Property managers, manufacturing, commercial, privately and locally owned companies looking for accountability from their alarm service provider. This message is for you.
Out-of-town national companies are struggling to provide service and support for your security and fire alarm system. You can do better with SMG Security. SMG Security is a local security service and fire alarm system provider with a mission to be the security industry leader in performance and customer satisfaction for the Chicagoland area. Concentration on local protection with a local UL central monitoring system delivers the ultimate protection for you, your employees, and property from theft, fire, and workplace violence. In many cases, SMG can detect issues before they become a major problem and are continually establishing new and improved industry standards and technology to keep your business safe and secure. Get a security solution based on your business budget and needs from SMG Security. And if you switch protection to SMG before the end of the month, you'll get 3 months of free service. Go to smgsecurity.com. smgsecurity.com.
Parents, grandparents, pay attention. Is your child falling behind academically? Is he or she overwhelmed, distracted, or unable to focus? Does your daughter lack confidence? It's not too late to consider the outstanding education and preparation for life that St. John's Northwestern Military Academy offers. They've been around for 135 years. St. John's Northwestern has prepared teens for college and beyond within a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distractions, and it's optimal for learning. St. John's Northwestern attracts teens grades 7 through 12 who are capable of achieving more but just need guidance and encouragement to get there. You know, we're already halfway through the first semester of high school. Let's see whether or not your child, your son or daughter, needs a little extra encouragement. St. John's Northwestern inspires personal growth through a commitment to academics, spiritual and character development, athletics, and a strong foundation essential for critical thinking and decision-making. St. John's Northwestern is located in the beautiful Lake County region of southeast Wisconsin, within driving distance of Chicago. I know because I visited. And if you want to take a virtual tour, you can go to YouTube, type in Amy Jacobson, and you could see for yourself the beautiful campus that is St. John's Northwestern. Visit their beautiful 110-acre campus during their open house, which is Friday, November 8th. Write that down, Friday, November 8th. That is their open house at St. John's Northwestern. Get more information by calling 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET, or go online at sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. Leadership lives here.
Listen up, Chicago area. Are you interested in making active and passive income each month flipping real estate tax liens? Then listen to this. The ProSource Tax Lien Company is offering a free tax lien flip kit, which contains educational videos and a step-by-step report that will show you how to earn government-regulated returns up to 18% that are secured by real estate. Plus, see how you can access tax lien inventory not available to the public. So, if you want to become a real estate investor without swinging a hammer or being a landlord, then text Chicago to 31,000 now to get your free tax lien flip kit and get ready to learn how to flip tax liens and acquire houses well below wholesale prices with great profit potential, all from home working part-time. Text Chicago to 31,000 right now to get your free tax lien investor kit, plus 2 free tickets to a live training event, which includes a free smartwatch just for attending. Text Chicago to 31,000. That's Chicago to 31,000 for your free tax lien kit now. Individual results may vary.
Scoundrels are not exclusive to politics. They're smart enough to occupy necessity service industries like the automotive business. As a real estate broker, my car is a lifeline and a total necessity to my business and my family, which is why I had to seek out an honest, truthful auto service provider. For over the past decade, I've put my trust in Craigies Mobile Service Center on Lake Street in Addison. Craigies handles full auto repair on foreign and domestic vehicles. They pride themselves on providing you the best cost-effective auto repair and expert advice. Craigies has full service bays and truck lifts that can service and manage your whole fleet. They also provide priority service for your business and can track each vehicle, alerting you to the repair before you need it, keeping your guys on the road. Since 1959, Craigies Mobile Service Center has thrived through 10 presidential administrations, giving you reputable, dependable, and honest auto repair. Do yourself a favor. Just go into Craigies on Lake Street in Addison. See my guy Vic. He'll set you up. Tell him Sean from Elmwood Park sent you. I approve of this message.
This is David Davenport of the Hoover Institution for Townhall.com. Politicians have learned that if they don't know how to solve a problem, they declare a war on it. So now we live under countless domestic policy wars. The war on poverty, war on crime, war on drugs, war on terror, war on energy consumption, and the like. These wars spend money, increase federal executive power, but solve very little. Now comes a dangerous cry to declare a war on climate change. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez calls climate change our World War II, and Senator Sanders, who proposes an even bigger Green New Deal, agrees. Scholars claim it's already a war that we're losing and ask the president to declare an emergency. All of this is code for we don't really know what needs to be done, but it needs to be big, expensive, and federal. Beware a new policy war on climate change. I'm David Davenport.
The Pepperdine Graduate School of Public Policy, preparing leaders for America and the world. Learn more at publicpolicy.pepperdine.edu.
Sebastian Gorka here for Relief Factor, the 100% drug-free supplement that was formulated by doctors to help your body deal with inflammation and pain. The reason I've told so many of my friends about the 3-week quick start is because as we get older, occasional aches and pains can be a real problem, keeping you from sleeping through the night or doing the things you love and need to do, like taking walks or playing golf, going up or down stairs, or simply playing with your kids or grandkids. Tens of thousands are now like me, glad they ordered the 3-week quick start for just $19.95. After years of back pain, I found relief, and I believe you could too. Folks, this is why the father and son owners of Relief Factor, Pete and Seth Talbot, created the 3-week quick start, and they discounted it to only $19.95. Approximately 70% of those who order it go on to order more. Let's see if we can get you out of pain too. Go to ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-500-8384.
AM 560.
The Answer. Lose 120 pounds and become an Iron Man after beating a brain tumor. Don't believe you have to.
Do I have the tumor? I'm hearing voices in my head. What's going on?
That was a technical error.
Oh, all right.
Nothing to worry about, Sean. NBA's back at it again. Another day, another apology from them. This time yesterday, because they're in China right now, or as President Trump calls it, China. We had the Lakers were playing the Brooklyn Nets, and the press conference, was canceled. And then there's other teams there in China. The Houston Rockets are there, and James Harden and Russell Westbrook, I do believe they play for them. They're being asked, they're asked questions, if they would feel differently about speaking out in the future following the NBA's censorship of comments that are critical of China. Here's the reporter from CNN asking the questions, and you're not going to believe what they did.
Hi, Christina McFarland, CNN.
The NBA has always been a league that prides itself on its player and its coaches being able to speak out openly about political and societal affairs. I just wonder, after the events of this week and the fallout we've seen, whether you would both feel differently about speaking out in that way in future.
Excuse me, we're taking basketball questions only.
It's a legitimate question. This is an event that's happened this week during the NBA.
For the answer, we're taking basketball.
This particular question has not been answered. James.
Any other questions?
Gentleman in front.
I mean, literally, they shut her down. It was a chilling incident. I could not believe it. So this media person came and she said, "We're only taking basketball questions."
Well,
really, you're only taking basketball questions?
Well, that's why Americans are ignorant to what they have. This is why you don't understand. The only way you're going to defeat communism is from within, not from without. Without only unites the communists, right? When it's an attack from the outside. It needs to be organically from the inside. So the Chinese people, that's why I argue so vehemently against Trump's trade war policy, because we were winning the intellectual debate, and Hong Kong is the evidence of that. Hong Kong is the area of China which capitalism and freedom was growing. You just put a big wet blanket on it. So that's my beef with it.
Well, and now because of that, they have canceled all press conferences and media events for the remainder of their trip.
Yeah, this just
so we're not going to let this happen again. This moment happen.
Yeah, this just in. China doesn't have a Kaepernick.
Yeah,
they got there's nothing there.
Well,
no lawyers, nothing.
And they're taking it a step further. Now Nike is pulling Rockets gear from their China stores. I mean, it's funny because just a few months ago, Nike's ad campaign was believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything.
Well, that's just...
And today they're pulling products to appease the Chinese government. Apparently, freedom of speech or thought is not something that they believe in.
That's why the way you take down China is both from within and from around. Spread let the manufacturing come in from the neighboring Asian countries, and you will destroy communism. But they don't want to do that because what's not talked about is within these barriers to commerce from China are barriers to commerce from the surrounding Asian countries. That's a problem.
And Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr, former Bull, nice guy, great husband, good person.
Self-loathing American.
Well, he always comments on President Trump and political matters and gun control issues. And so naturally, reporters asked him about this issue. And this is the first thing they said. Then we'll get to what you have.
All right.
My brother-in-law is actually a Chinese history professor, and I emailed him today to tell me what I should be learning about all this and what's happening. So I'm trying to learn just like everybody else is.
Steve, to that point, the league setting.
So, and then
my brother-in-law's a great dad with a bad attitude. He doesn't give me
my
tips on how to
brother-in-law's
do
a
things.
Chinese.
I mean, are you kidding me? So here's the other thing. Is he, because I've heard him before. Steve Kerr, this is not his first venture into the political realm. In fact, he's very vocal against Republicans in general and Trump specifically.
Yeah, he's a Democrat.
So here's how you know
and
someone...
he's against guns, and let me tell you why. His father, Malcolm Kerr, was a very well-known professor at American universities. He was stationed in Beirut and was gunned down by Islamic terrorists.
So I'm wondering...
So that's why I think he's very sensitive to the gun issue, personally.
So I'm wondering if is he supportive when Trump pulls our American troops out of the Middle East then?
I don't know. They didn't ask him that because they keep asking him about China.
Do you have the clip, though, where he shows that he is a self-loathing American?
It has not come up in terms of people asking me about it, people discussing it. No. Nor has our record of human rights abuses come up either.
Our record.
Things that our country needs to look at and resolve.
Yeah.
That hasn't come up either. So none of us are perfect, and we all have different issues that we have to get to. And saying that is my right as an American. Doesn't mean that I hate my country. It means I want to address things, right? But people in China didn't ask me about, people owning AR-15s and mowing each other down in a mall. I wasn't asked that question. So we can play this game all we want and go all over the map, and there's this issue and that issue, and the world is a complex place, and there's more gray than black and white.
Only for a simpleton. But the real issue is China kills millions of people.
Well, there are
and their
100 million
government-
plus that
and
we
their
know of.
government does it. Whereas Steve Kerr is doing the equivocation game with the evil individuals who are twisted, most of whom are radical leftists. And he is playing the equivocation game rather than answer the very specific question. And what America really needs to evaluate is how it puts weight on the opinions of these adult morons in costumes running around chasing balls. It's
Well, I'm
outrageous.
surprised a reporter there didn't say, well, what human rights violations have occurred here in the United States that you're talking about that we need to address.
Everyone
before
that
the
that
China
woman in Oak Park said. Just take her catty idiocy and put it in a costume with a basketball logo on it. She's Steve Kerr. Same self-loathing American guilt that they have because they feel that way.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Ed Morrissey will be here. And then later, Scott Shellady, the cow guy.
My guy.
That's your guy. That's all you, Sean. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Temperatures falling across the state as clouds roll in. Negotiations continue between the CTU and the city of Chicago. A CPD officer was hit by a squad vehicle while chasing a suspect on the west side. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Will she give House Democrats more fuel for their impeachment fire? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The former ambassador to Ukraine recalled from that post in May, due to be questioned next hour. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, 3 House committees will conduct transcribed interviews with Marie Yovanovitch, someone President Trump described as bad news during the July phone call with the leader of Ukraine. While the career diplomat is on the schedule, there's an outside chance there could be another dust-up over her appearance, like earlier this week when the State Department pulled the plug on an interview with Ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland. Yovanovitch is still a State Department employee. Sondland now scheduled for an interview before House investigators next Thursday. Dave.
Rachel, two new developments. The president will nominate Deputy Secretary of State John Sullivan to be the next ambassador to Russia. This as a senior advisor to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Michael McKinley resigned. There was a big Trump rally last night.
What do they want to do? Let's impeach our president, right? I don't think so.
I was in Minneapolis where he said Democrats will pay for an insane impeachment. At the ballot box, he also got personal with the Bidens.
Hunter, you're a loser.
Adding.
And your father was never considered smart.
Claiming the Bidens got rich, and that is substantiated. The Biden campaign calls it all lies and conspiracy theories. Joe Biden still the Democratic presidential frontrunner in a new Fox poll, leading Elizabeth Warren by 10 points. Now, at the rally, the president also talked about pulling troops back from Syria, which led Turkey to start bombing Kurds, who were U.S. allies in the fight against ISIS.
We could hit Turkey very hard financially. Or we could mediate a deal between Turkey and the Kurds. I like that.
Turkey says so far it's killed more than 200 Kurds. A Turkish soldier has also died. A wildfire is raging in the Los Angeles area. It's burned homes and evacuated neighborhoods.
It's getting very smoky up here, and the fire's getting very close.
Another fire east of L.A. and Calamasa has destroyed dozens of mobile homes. America's listening to Fox News.
Cloudy skies, 64 degrees. It's 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s by noontime today and will drop to the 30s overnight. Teachers at a Chicago charter school could be headed for a strike later this month. Educators at Passages Elementary School in Edgewater announcing they'll walk off the job October 22nd. Meantime, the clock still ticks for the Chicago Teachers Union and the city to reach a deal before next week's looming strike date, October 17. 2 teens are wounded following a shooting outside the River Oak Center Mall in Calumet City. A 17-year-old boy and an 18-year-old woman were shot last night. Both remain hospitalized with serious injuries. A Chicago police officer recovering after he was hit by a squad car chasing after a gun suspect on the west side. Authorities say the officers were monitoring a gang funeral yesterday in the 1800 block of South Drake when they saw someone toss a gun out of a car. Police officers tried to curb that vehicle, but the driver took off. One of the officers tried to chase it down on foot, but was hit by a responding police vehicle. That officer is in good condition. Blackhawks led early and often, but fell to the Sharks late 5-4 in their home opener. Hawks host Winnipeg tomorrow night. Bulls visit the Pacers tonight in NBA preseason action. Fighting Illini tackle number 16 Michigan in Champaign tomorrow. In other college football, Notre Dame and USC and our NIU Huskies visit Ohio U with an expected kick time of around 2:30 here on AM 560. It's 8:03 time for the AM 560 Business Beat, a service of Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Visit signaturebank.bank for all your commercial banking needs. Now the latest from Fox Business.
I'm Deirdre Bolton, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are pointing to optimism on Wall Street after President Trump agreed to meet with China's vice premier at the White House. It's believed the upcoming meeting is a sign of progress in trade negotiations with China. Those talks are continuing today. Investors are hoping there could be progress that would hold off on tariff increases to take effect next week and in December. Hyundai and Kia have set aside more than $760 million to settle U.S. lawsuits over engines that could catch fire. Companies are also installing software to monitor for symptoms of engine failure and will take other steps to make cars safer. Brooklyn Brewing will make a non-alcoholic beer in response to demand for trendy drinks with no alcohol. The brew will be sold nationally next month. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
8:04 on AM 560. A check of traffic and weather in 2 minutes on AM 560.
Tickets for Freedom Summit 2019 sold out in record time in response to the high demand. We've opened up an overflow room for attendees to watch the event on Saturday, November 2nd at the Westin Chicago Northwest. Overflow tickets are on sale now, but are selling fast. Get yours at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Clear Financial Strategies, Tom Mirabali, independent health insurance agent with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Monarch Technical, and by Charles Equipment Energy Systems.
You've heard Rumpke's Garage commercials on AM 560, and now they specialize in servicing Sprinters and light-duty diesels. But the experts at Rumpke's also service Isuzu and Chevy low-cab forward trucks. So if you own an Isuzu or Chevy low-cab forward truck but aren't sure where to get it repaired, take it to Rumpke's Garage, your number one dealer alternative for repairs to your Isuzu NPR, Isuzu F-Series, or Chevy low-cab forward truck. Whether gas or diesel, your truck is the lifeline of your business. That's why Rumpke's Garage offers free loaners while your truck is being serviced. They'll even pick up and deliver for your convenience. Rumpke's Garage has the factory scan tool to properly diagnose Isuzu and Chevy low-cab forward trucks. Their commitment to your business is backed with a complimentary maintenance plan and free 2-year warranty. Go to rumpkesgarage.com to learn more about their specialization in Isuzu and Chevy low-cab forward trucks and schedule your appointment today. That's Remkes, R-E-M-K-E-S, garage.com.
Starting route now. Turn right at Fortress Mountain. Turn left at Mount Hood. Head south to Moab, Utah. Continue on the Great North American Test Drive.
Run with us on a John Deere Gator XUV 835. With our quietest cab ever and optional heat and AC, and a 4-wheel independent suspension, it's built to run where no one else can. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
I'm Dr. Bob Arnott, and I treat pain with Salon Pause. Before you take anything for back or joint pain, I recommend applying topical pain relievers first, like Salon Pause Lidocaine Patch. Salon Pause Lidocaine contains the maximum strength lidocaine available without a prescription. It blocks pain receptors, providing effective, long-lasting, and non-addictive relief. Also available in roll-on or cream. Look for the silver Salon Pause box in the pain relief aisle. Salon Pause, it's good medicine.
8:07 on AM 560. Time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. Checking the roads next. AM 560 Traffic Center time. Jim Telemonte.
Inbound Ryan, an earlier crash at 91st has left heavy delays on I-57 and especially the Bishop Ford Freeway. Ford is jammed 111th to the merge. It's 47 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. I-57, 25 minutes. I-80 to the verge. To the Ryan is 40 minutes. 95th to downtown. Eden's 21 minutes. Lake Cook to the Junction. Kennedy. Now an hour and 2 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 43 minutes from Montrose. 42 in the Express. Eisenhower an hour from 390 to the Circle. 40 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson an hour and 20 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Southbound Lakeshore Drive is heavy. Foster to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. That's traffic. I'm Chip Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Mostly cloudy, breezy, and cooler. Shower and thunderstorm today, the high 64. Temperatures dropping into the 40s. Partly cloudy, breezy, and chilly tonight, low 33. For tomorrow and Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds, windy and cool, the high both days at 52. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
66 at O'Hare, 64 Lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
I really hope you didn't dance like that at the bars in the 80s.
I didn't have to dance, Toots. They loved me. I just stood there
Oh,
throwing
and they-
themselves at me.
Yes. That
Great.
voice belongs to Sean Thompson. In for me, and I'm in for Dan, this fun Friday. Because I know how you love to talk about Fridays.
I do.
Yeah, Dan's off. He's on a mancation with his
The more you say it,
buddies.
the more it makes me smile.
I mean, it just sounds hanky.
Yeah.
But yes, but he likes to be in the presence
Don't
of men.
forget your
so-
twister, Matt. All right, go ahead.
And yesterday, I wanted to talk about this story, but Dan did not want to because Dan, as he said, could care less about Matt Lauer. But I think it's a big deal because he has kept his silence for 2 years. He did not after this new revelation came out via Ronan Farrow's new book that alleged that Matt Lauer raped an NBC News colleague, and Savannah and Coda reacted in this manner.
I feel like we owe it to our viewers to pause for a moment. This is shocking and appalling, and I honestly don't even know what to say about it. I want to say that I know it wasn't easy for our colleague Brooke to come forward then. It's not easy now. And we support her and any women who have come forward with claims. And it's just very painful for all of us at NBC and who are at the Today Show. And, it's very, very, very difficult.
I'm looking at you and I'm having a weird moment that we were sitting here just like this 2 years ago. And truth be told, Savannah and I did a little prayer upstairs just before, just to sort of sort out what we were going to do. And I think it's like you feel like you've known someone for 12 years. And I don't know if you guys have ever felt like that. You know someone, you know them, you feel like you know them inside and out. And then all of a sudden, like a door opens up and it's a part of them you didn't know. And
who
I'm
they
starting
didn't
to
know.
understand why Prof didn't want to talk about it. Make it stop.
But what they didn't know is that their NBC News bosses allegedly knew about this rape and did nothing. And for that, we welcome our next guest, a good friend of the show, Ed Morrissey, senior editor for hotair.com and columnist for The Week. Good morning, Mr. Morrissey. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Well, good. So this story, I mean, it's so disturbing and the details are very graphic, but basically, and I know you know about this because you wrote about it, but this happened during the Sochi Olympics, and this woman, Brooke Neville, was Meredith Vieira's producer. They all met up at a bar in the hotel that they were all staying at. He allegedly forced himself on her, raped her. She was allegedly crying in her pillow and had some bleeding issues. And Matt Lauer came out with this 1,400-word, defense that he scripted, saying that, the encounter was mutual. It was the beginning of our affair. Certainly, she did not cry during that time. She was enthusiastic and a willing partner. But my question to you, the first one is, did NBC know about this incident and sit on it for a while?
It certainly seems that way, and I think that that's the way that Ronan Farrow is reporting it. Brooke Neville apparently is telling him that it was not a secret, that she had talked about it both during and after this, and there was rumors about this at the time of Lauer's, at least at the time of Lauer's firing, because Page Six actually reported that there had been an assault during the Olympics. They just picked the wrong Olympics. They thought it had happened in Rio because that was the Olympics that had taken place the year before Lauer had gotten fired, when in fact this took place 2 years prior to that in 2014 at Sochi. And so, I went back and looked at some of the stuff that we were writing at the time that Lauer was fired, and I discovered that we had quoted page 6 on this, and that they were saying that it involved an assault. And this is the first time that dot has been kind of connected.
And the story gets a little complicated because after the alleged assault, Neville continued to have sexual encounters with Lauer after Sochi.
Because she hated it.
Well, and Sean, yeah, certainly, that's a complicating factor in this story. And you will have people who will say, well, sometimes women stay with abusers for different reasons. And of course, Lauer had a lot of influence over careers at NBC, but it is certainly a question that has to be raised, and it does go to credibility to some extent.
Isn't the real story, Ed Morrissey from HotAir.com, that Matt Lauer is heterosexual? Because I was convinced he was on the other side of the plate.
No, Sean.
No, I'm just...
That was never in
think
question.
That's the real story.
All right.
Yeah, but in this 14-page letter that he wrote, I found it fascinating. He said this. He said, the women with whom I've had extramarital relationships have avoided having to look a boyfriend, husband, or a child in the eye and say, I cheated. That just was such a pathetic line and stuck out to me.
Welcome to my childhood. Let's get on to more stories here.
No, Ed Morrissey, what did you think of that?
I think it's pathetic. I agree with you on this one, Amy. I think it's pathetic. I don't think that these are women who are having to avoid saying that they've cheated, because just the admission that they were in extramarital affairs with Matt Lauer pretty much says they cheated. But the fact that this is a guy who was using his power at NBC to pressure women into sexual relationships, that's also a story. That's also an issue. And this is not coming from one woman. It's not coming from two women. It's coming from a whole series of women and other observers within NBC. And this, by the way, that part of it was all litigated 2 years ago when they fired Lauer. All these stories came pouring out. And so I'm not necessarily sure that the big story here is that these women cheated on their boyfriends' husbands, if indeed they were even in committed relationships at the time.
Do you think he's done in television? It's over? It's official now?
Oh, yeah, he's done. I think that he was one of the ones that was never going to make a comeback in the first place, and I think after this book is out, that's even more so the case.
There's always Chinese TV. Let's not cut the career too short. Now, listen. You wrote a story.
You're so bombastic. I'm sorry.
You wrote a story that I really liked yesterday. And I think there's more to it than the headline. And it's Piers Morgan going after an eco-Nazi. And he does it from the vein of, why don't you practice what you preach? And one thing I can't help but notice in this story is that I think the old-fashioned liberal is getting sick and tired of the eco-Nazi not only being wrong for 60 years, which they have been, but the idea that they get to preach one way while living another. And I thought this was a great article by you. Can you elaborate?
Oh, well, thank you very much.
It really was.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, and I got to tell you, Pierce, we've had a lot of criticism of Pierce over the years, but we've also had a lot of admiration for Pierce because he is just a sort of a unique character. And I think he was spot on in this interview. And what was most interesting is that the woman couldn't even admit that she owned a television. She could have diffused this by saying, of course I own a television. It takes up, 0.2 of a kilowatt a month or something like that. One television isn't the issue. But she couldn't even bring herself to do that. It was so funny, and he understood the advantage that he had in this, and he really pressed it home. And I think that he just absolutely demolished her in this interview.
Now, today, former ambassador to the Ukraine, Maria Yanovich, is scheduled to testify. We know what happened last time. Do you think, I know that she's willing to do it, do you think the White House will let her?
No, I don't. I think that they're going to invoke executive privilege like they did with Gordon Sondland, and I can't imagine why they wouldn't invoke privilege with Yovanovitch, who still works there as well as Sondland does, when they told Sondland that he couldn't testify. And I think Sondland was probably more prepared to be a sympathetic witness for Trump than Yovanovitch is probably going to be. So, no, I expect, I'm kind of keeping my eye on the Twitter feed right now just to see when this thing is going to drop, but I expect the privilege claim to be made pretty quickly.
Do you think that there's any validity to the story? I think I've read 2 or 3 stories about the possibility that Giuliani could potentially have been setting up a collaborative company with the Ukrainian energy business? Is this even possible, Ed, or am I living in a Batman Bizarro World episode?
Is it possible? It's possible. I think it would be incredibly dumb to be doing something like that while you're working for the President of the United States. I think it was incredibly dumb for Hunter Biden to take that position with Burisma while his father was vice president of the United States. That happened. I don't know that Giuliani is quite that foolish to do that. I'm not sure if the allegation involves Giuliani directly or if it's people who were working for Giuliani, a couple of whom just got arrested yesterday or day before yesterday.
And they look like a bunch of goofballs.
As a guy from an Italian neighborhood, when guys you were having dinner with get arrested outside the restaurant, that's not a good sign. Normally,
you mean when they're
it's
on a one-way
move.
ticket to Vienna and they're picked up at Dulles International Airport?
Not good.
So, Ed, good. And I'm putting you on the spot here, but do you know the details of what they're alleged to have done, these two people that look like they're straight out of Central Casting?
Yes, these are Russian-born American citizens who set up a PAC, and they're being accused of acting as fronts for foreign donors into the PAC. And this PAC was used to influence members of Congress, Pete Sessions apparently being one of them. It was mentioned Congressman one who was not indicted in this, not even as an unindicted co-conspirator, just merely described in the indictment. But the allegation is that they were using money in Ukraine to influence American politics without declaring where the money was actually coming from, and so that was what they were being arrested for yesterday.
I mean, isn't it just a system flaw, though, Ed? I got to tell you. The idea that we could sprinkle the infield with these PACs and this nonsense, we really don't even know the kind of organized manipulation money in the system. And the reality, it's more surprising that we caught these guys than it's going on. And I got to tell you, that's the beauty of Trump. I think he's going to tear the whole thing down. At the end of the day, you're not going to be able to say it's not corrupt. It's going to be obvious it is.
Well, President Trump said he doesn't know any of these two guys.
Of course not.
I don't think he would. I mean, I don't think there'd be any reason for him to know these guys. They're clients of Rudy Giuliani, but that doesn't mean that Donald Trump knows who they are. And to your point, Sean, what this is, the setup for this is all the campaign finance laws that were passed before. What we really need is just total transparency and the money going directly to candidates and directly to political parties. And the way you do that is you lift the limits, you get rid of all these artificial designations for money coming into politics, and you have 48-hour transparency rules. Anything over a certain dollar amount, say $200, gets disclosed immediately, within 48 hours on the internet, so everybody can look up and see where the money's coming from. And then you don't need all of these PACs and super PACs and all the rest of this stuff. That money will flow directly to candidates and parties.
Give us 20 minutes and a cigar, Ed. We could solve everything. I love it.
Ed Morrissey, senior editor for hotair.com and columnist for The Week. Thank you so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks. Have a great weekend. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Rick Blavelone, second-generation owner and CEO of Marketing Innovators and a customer of Signature Bank. Our family-run company was founded on the belief that connecting to people on a human level is the best way to build a great business. And when we were looking for a new bank, we didn't have to look far. We shared an office building with Signature Bank in Rosemont and quickly saw that they were truly locally owned and operated. That's why we partnered with Signature. And that relationship makes every business decision better and every communication clearer. Marketing Innovators looks forward to a long-lasting relationship with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, we have a special going on right now for Balance of Nature. In case you haven't heard, Balance Nature helps because, admit it, you're not getting enough fruits and veggies in your diet, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. With just 6 capsules, you can get 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies are made here in America. And you've heard the stories right here on this station about people whose lives have changed because of Balance of Nature. And from now until Columbus Day, which is Monday, Balance of Nature is offering a $25 off and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Now, this special is ending between now and October 14th, so do not wait. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Use discount code Chicago or go to balanceofnature.com. Discount code Chicago.
I'm Gary Rabine of the Rabine Group and the podcast Ditch Digger CEO. One of my favorite things to do is golf at our exclusive Bull Valley Golf Club in Woodstock. Just 55 minutes northwest of O'Hare and 35 minutes south of Lake Geneva. 5 minutes from the Metro line. 250 acres of amazing terrain, oak and red pine forest, native prairie and marsh. It feels like you played 4 different courses in 18 holes. Golf Digest rated Bull Valley the 30th most challenging championship-style golf course in America. One of the best courses in Illinois, and the track the best golfers want to play. Good golfers, Bull Valley will make you great. Bad golfers like me, Bull Valley will make you better. A world-class staff and 2 amazing teaching pros, simulators, and a beautiful instructional range. I've got the greatest offer on the planet in private championship golf. If you live in or near Chicago, join our Chicago membership in the next 10 days and get 18 months for $2,500. You heard it, $2,500 to be a member until April 2021. Email Gary at bullvalleygolfclub.com and play championship golf tomorrow. That's Gary at bullvalleygolfclub.com.
Remember when you could pick up the phone and talk to a friendly voice for technical difficulties?
Yeah, now it's a help desk on the other side of the planet that knows nothing about my business and usually isn't much help at all.
I got stuck in a help chat room the other day, and it was endless back and forth. I don't think they ever really understood or cared about my issue.
It's tough to get great technical help these days. To find people that really care and invest in your success. That's what Turnkey IT does. And you can rely on them to take care of everything IT, as if they were right by your side, but without the expense of an in-house IT department. Get to know the local team members at Turnkey IT that continue to serve businesses just like yours, from 1 to 200 employees. A friendly face with a personal touch that's close by and believes your word really means something. For only $7.95 per month, you can have local IT help and forget about dealing with computer and network problems forever.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
AM 560, The Answer.
Can't touch this. There you go.
It's right from the era.
Oh, yes. We are close in age, I must admit. All right, so yesterday, this is a crazy thing. We're going up north to Canada. You know, where Justin Trudeau is the prime minister. He's survived so far the blackface controversy.
They're like Americans with less guilt and muscle or something.
And there's this goofy show, New Mom Who Dis. It's hosted by a social media star. Among the hard-hitting questions he got was, do you have a dad bod? You know, they ask goofy questions. There's little kids in the room. At one point in time, they put a baby in his arms.
Yeah.
And
More informative Canadian politics.
yeah, so these 2 cute little girls, they're African-American twins. It was their turn to ask a question.
Uh-huh.
And, you know.
What'd they do?
Well, oh.
And so, Laura, do you want to stand up and ask a question?
Why did you paint your face brown?
Ooh, it was something I shouldn't have done because it hurt people. It's not something that you should do, and that is something that I learned. I didn't know it back then, but I know it now, and I'm sorry I hurt people.
But did you paint your nose and your hands brown?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Better than any reporter in Canada.
Oh. Louder. Think he'll do that show again?
But isn't it, you know, this is an insane area because my kids are not that old. And I distinctly remember a movie that I brought them to that had 2
Tropic
black
Thunder?
guys pretending to be blonde women.
Right. Is it Tyler Perry?
I mean,
it's called White Chicks.
Yeah, White Chicks.
And I saw that
And
movie,
it was
was funny. It was a great.
Are we
funny
at
film.
the point now where we can't let people make an idiot out of themselves without it becoming racism? I'm going to tell you something. I've been blessed in life. I only look at people by their character. So I don't have, my bigotry is stupidity. So it covers all races and all religions, and it covers a lot of ground. But the idea that we somehow have this platform where all of a sudden you are not to use judgment, that is the same notion a religion preaches. Whatever you do, don't use your own judgment. Just believe our rules. I'll tell you what, it's sickening time to me. Sickening.
Well, I mean, do you still... I don't think he should have done it, because if you look at pictures of other people at that party, he took that Aladdin theme to whole new levels. I mean, everybody else
I don't think he should be persecuted because he was an idiot. Did it look good? Did it fit in the costume? Did anybody that night say, you really offended me? No, he's a moron. Dressing like another moron.
His dad was prime minister, too, so he should have known that he'd be looked at differently. But that's all right.
I remember my old man.
Figure,
I didn't get along. I didn't talk to my dad for years. Didn't get along with him, but he was, he's a character.
Is he still alive?
Oh, yeah, he's out there doing push-ups. Anyway, here's the thing. He was a bricklayer, and one of his closest friends was a black guy, and it was in the 70s. And for Halloween, they dressed like each other.
Oh, so your dad put on blackface.
My dad put on the blackface with the tool belt. He used to wear these big shirts. He was a big fat guy, all right? My dad didn't wear a shirt, so the black guy had no shirt on, and he painted himself Caucasian. Nobody was mad. They laughed. They won the award, the whole construction site. What is wrong with that? They were not insulting each other. There was ridicule and fun and camaraderie. It doesn't have to be evil. And the idea that somebody dressed like Aladdin is somehow a racist against black people, someone make that connection in my head. But then again, we're living in a week where the religious guy in society, Pat Robertson, decided to say it was evil not to kill certain people. So I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, China warming up to a partial trade deal. We'll get the latest from the cow guy, Scott Shalady. And later, well, an 18-year-old girl is under social media firestorm for eating her pet, and we'll tell you why she did it.
Maybe the dog bit her. Bite her back. Eat the dog. I'm all for that. Over the top.
But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
64 degrees at 8:30. U.S. Ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland, will reportedly testify under subpoena to the House next week. A source familiar with the matter saying Sondland has not received guidance from the State Department yet about testifying, but he will not be testifying in full. It will be a temporary testifying, and will not be the same as being under oath, according to sources that are familiar with the situation. Hyundai and its subsidiary Kia are putting aside more than $750 million to settle U.S. class action lawsuits over engine fires. The South Korean car company says they'll install software to monitor those engines for symptoms of failure. They'll also take other steps, including offering compensation options and lifetime warranties. Iran's national oil company says 2 explosions hit one of its tankers in the Red Sea today. The country's state-run news says an explosion set the ship on fire, causing heavy damage off the coast of Saudi Arabia. Police outside President Trump's campaign rally in Minneapolis shot pepper spray into anti-Trump crowds during a disturbance. At that event, the president defended his decision to move U.S. troops out of northern Syria.
We had a big victory. We left the area. I don't think the American people want to see us go back in with our military, go back into that area again.
Anti-Trump protests outside the Target Center were largely peaceful until demonstrators began burning Trump memorabilia, including flags. The world's first spacewalker has died. Alexei Leonev passed away today at the age of 85. Leonev was a Soviet cosmonaut who became the first person to leave the capsule during a space mission. He conducted a 12-minute spacewalk in March of 1965. Teachers at a Chicago charter school could be headed for a strike later this month. Educators at Passages Elementary announcing they'll walk off the job October 22nd. And the clock continues to tick for the Chicago Teachers Union and the city of Chicago to reach a contract agreement before next week's looming strike date. Thousands of runners dashing through the streets of Chicago and 39 neighborhoods this Sunday, 29 neighborhoods actually, this Sunday for the 42nd annual Chicago Marathon. An estimated 1.7 million spectators will crowd the streets cheering on about 40,000 runners. Blackhawks fell to the Sharks in the home opener 5-4. They host Winnipeg tomorrow night. Bulls visiting the Pacers tonight. The news a service of Mattress Firm. At Mattress Firm, for a limited time, take home a free adjustable base with purchase of $6.99. Plus, get up to $400 in savings and enjoy 0% APR for 6 years. 0 down, 0 due at signing. Shop the Save Big Sale online or in-store. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
With all the noise and political spin of the news cycle, it's easy for the things that really matter to get lost. Sources with knowledge cuts through all the clutter to bring you biting commentary on the week's events. This Sunday at 3 p.m., your hosts Eric Cohn and Joe Kaiser bring you insight on politics and policy, as well as culture, sports, food, and everything else you need, so you can understand what's happened this week. It's Sources with Knowledge this Sunday at 3 p.m. right here on AM 560. The Answer.
Want your home's furnace to stay safe and reliable? And want to prevent any potential problems before they happen? At your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we recommend an annual furnace inspection and tune-up. Right now, get big savings on a furnace tune-up. Call 855-1-HOUR. Because not taking care of your furnace, that's just cold.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
It's time once again for Al and Marty.
You know, Al, we were Chicagoland's first ever Ford Lincoln dealer.
We're also everybody's favorite dealer.
We are?
I took a very scientific poll.
A poll? Wow, that's amazing.
100% of the respondents favored us.
Wait, respondents?
Well, Bill in accounting, my daughters, your wife's a big fan, and, well, me.
You?
I think I'm fantastic.
I bet you do.
Island Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 800-984-9000 or visit alanmarty.com.
This is Al and Marty. Deal with us.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I don't take any supplementation, but I take Balance of Nature because I've seen it in my lab and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true, and it's only natural.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. From now until Columbus Day, Balance of Nature is offering $25 off and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. This special is ending between now and October 14th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
It is 8:36, a check of the roads, AM 560 traffic center time. And here is Jim Telemonti.
Kennedy inbound traffic is stuffed up from Austin to the Bird Circle. It is an hour and 8 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 50 minutes from Montrose, 49 on the Express, outbound 33 minutes to the airport. Eden's 21 minutes, Lycott to Junction, outbound 22. Eisenhower, 54 minutes, 390 to downtown, 34 from Manheim, outbound 37 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 44 minutes. Ryan, 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound tri-state delays are from the 83rd Street toll to 31st, and in pockets from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. Reagan Tollway delays are Winfield to Yackley and 355 to Highland, northbound Veterans Memorial, Fountain to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. It's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonti on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. In our 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, cloudy, breezy, cooler showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. We've already hit our high for the day. Temperatures will fall to the upper 40s by midday. By evening, 33. Currently 64 degrees. Next news coming up at 9. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Retire Chicago. Tune in Saturday mornings at 8 to Retire Chicago with John McNamara of McNamara Capital.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
When did you stop trick-or-treating?
I trick-or-treat. I went trick-or-treating in high school, but I put a white sheet over. I was a ghost.
On AM 560.
Oh,
cut out
yeah.
the eyes.
Yeah, a ghost. Right, Grand Imperial Wizard.
The Answer.
See, Dan can be fun sometimes.
Sure he is.
You
He's
just
a lot
have
of
to
fun.
treasure those moments when he is fun. Amy Jacobson here. Sean from Elmwood Park, also known as Sean Thompson, who I
right.
did call you Sean Thomas earlier, and
It's all right.
I apologize.
Only when I get in trouble, I'm Mike Budacek. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. You're Mayor Pete. Yesterday, big day. It was the 13th time that we've had talks between the U.S. and China, and apparently they're warming up to a partial trade deal. With that, let's go to Scott Shalady, our good friend. Scott the Cow Guy. You can follow him on Twitter. He's a Fox Business contributor, and really, the cow sound never gets old.
Smart. Even when I disagree with him, he's smart.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
Good morning. Good. I'm great. Good morning.
All right. So, is there any truth to this that China is really warming up to some agreement with this trade deal?
In a word, I would say boring. I think we fool me once, fool me twice kind of a thing. I would be angry. I know there's a lot of guys out there that think that we got to get, it'd be nice to have something is better than nothing kind of a thing. I don't like that. I've got a lot of friends in the agricultural community. There's a lot of people out there that have had some, a lot of pain over this. And if you're going to have a lot of pain over this, it better be something substantial. So I'm not a fan of a partial trade deal. I know the markets are, obviously.
But your farm friends,
your
your farm friends should be happy because China has offered to buy more U.S. agriculture products each year.
Well, but what they've offered to buy is basically a suitcase on the Queen Mary. Okay, so it looks good on paper, but when you talk about it in relative terms, it's a joke. So, he holds all the cards. He's been very good about not telling us what a good deal is, right?
Right.
So he could do a kind of a small deal and say, this is what I've been waiting for. I just hope it's something substantial because there's been so much pain. It better be worth it.
And the reality, too, Scott, is that the farmers don't want to be the recipient of yet another bailout, which, you're coming along that time of year where we've already given them, 3? You're probably going to have to give them another one, 2 or 3. I thought it was 3, but all right. See, maybe a little bet on the side. Anyway.
Well, it's one a year, and it's been 2 years. So, no, you ask a farmer, Sean, you're exactly right. You ask them what you want, and they have 2 words every single time: free trade. Period.
So
we don't want a handout. We want free trade.
From China's perspective, these people are not morons. They're watching the turmoil here in this country. Wouldn't you? If you and I are sitting there and we're on the other side of the table, I'm telling you, we don't have to do anything. Look at what's going on. I'm not doing anything.
Your feet are up. Your feet are up, and we're going through every cigar you've ever had.
That's exactly right. I don't need you. See, Americans are they've been propagandized so much, they don't understand that the real danger comes in this move. Because as we've been doing this, we're 18% of their export. Well, all they need to do is make up the difference, which is why they have these new agreements with Russia. They have these new agreements with India. They have these new agreements with Syria and Iran. This is my problem with this is it's going to create
the NBA.
And the NBA, right? This looks to be creating more damage than ever even the fairy tale result they promised would happen. What do you think?
I think that there's a little bit to that argument, but you know what? There's a lot to the argument about a lot of the supply lines to the U.S. are starting to leave China so that these businesses can still do business with the U.S. That's happening, and that takes time. And at the end of the day, I hate using that term, but we can't go back to the way it was. They were just outright stealing and ripping us off.
Well,
so we can't go back. I mean, we just can't continue down those. Here's the deal, though. Going back to your childhood, right? Your old man would tell you this: don't pick a fight with somebody that's got nothing to lose. And that's what we've done. I mean, they don't care. They'll sacrifice 30 million people to get their point across.
And the ramifications of logistics, what have happened to these markets. I mean, what else can't go back is the stock price of FedEx or UPS. And you're seeing trucking companies who are in business for 40, 50, 60 years, done. They're gone. And this amid the lowest gas prices we've seen in 10 years. So I think it's a bigger hidden problem than we're being led to believe it is.
Well, it's in the agricultural community, it's an absolute Armageddon. We had this type of thing happen in the 80s. They called it back then. Remember Farm Aid, Farm Crisis, all that stuff?
Yeah, Willie
Nelson.
Nelson.
Getting the headlines. Yeah, it's not getting the headlines now, but it's just as bad, or I would say, or worse, with farm suicides at all-time record highs. Really? So, yeah, there are some serious unintended consequences that are happening, and that's why I'm not in the camp of let's just get something done. If we're going to have all of this collateral damage, we better have a damn good deal. That's what I would say. So the markets want anything, and they bite on any good news, and it's hard to keep this market down right now because of that. But at the end of the day, I need to have something substantial, and I hope he doesn't do something just to get something done.
Before I let you go, repo market. I'm nervous, baby. Repo.
I had to follow a repo man in Detroit overnight. That was one of the scariest. I'm not kidding, Scott. And we had an armed security guard with us too.
This does not have anything to do with repossession.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the repo man.
No. This is about
this is why when
overnight lending. Yes.
Oh no, that is so
Listen,
cute. No,
there's a donut here somewhere for you. Let me go ask this
wait.
question now. Damn it.
Would you rather talk about overnight lending or the repo man and what it's like to repossess a car in Detroit?
At 51, married 20 years, I want to talk about the market. Anyway.
Okay.
Here's
got
the thing.
shushed, Scott.
I'd rather talk about the repo man.
Okay, so we were taking this Mercedes from him?
Yes. So listen.
It came out guns a-blazing.
Last night was the last night.
I ran like a schoolgirl. Oh, I'm sorry. You were just saying something?
Last night was the last night that they had the okay for the overnight quantitative easing fraud. Now, tonight happens. What happens? Because they only had it through October 10th.
You made it sound so sexy. Quantitative easing fraud.
I make everything sound sexy. Go ahead.
Yeah, that makes people's eyes glaze over. I had to explain this already once today. With the bottom line is this: the problem is that the Federal Reserve here, that tries to put oil into the machine, and they inject cash into the engine, okay, to keep things moving, commerce moving, capitalism moving. But they inject it through the banks, and the banks are then supposed to be kind of sprinkling the infield. But the problem is they can make 1.8% by depositing the money back at the government overnight. So it's not getting out to the people. It's not getting out to where it needs to go because these banks want to make money, and that's what they're doing. So it's actually just enriching the banks rather than the people, and that's where the problem is. So the banks aren't really letting the money go, and they'll do something to fix that. It's kind of a problem, but I don't think it's as black swan of a problem as some folks are trying to make it out to be.
You couple all of what you just said, the skullduggery and nonsense. Then you factor
joke, isn't it?
It's a joke. And you factor in what happened after all of the fraud that happened in 2008, where nothing. They got away with everything. Bail out. And you do this. You know what this means? I'm going to be the next on the line throwing this, at the buildings. I'm going to be throwing the bottles. I mean, I can't get over this.
Well, look, the good news is everybody needs to know that as far as the U.S. economic system, or at least the banking system, we're much better off than we were in 2008. I mean, we have about a third of the leverage we had back then, so we're much better off as far as good standing goes there. So we can handle a few bumps in the road. But the problem is, Sean and Amy, I don't know how much our U.S. economy can handle everybody else doing as badly as they are. And look what's going on in Europe. It's a disaster, and as well as Asia, it's not going well either. I mean, we're going to get buffeted by these bad news, and that's why our rates are going so low. Especially, Sean, with you being in real estate. You don't need to be cutting rates for the U.S. economy right now.
It's crazy.
No.
But we have to. We have to because of what's hitting us from overseas. That's the problem.
And the delinquency.
So I think the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jay Powell's got he's in a horrible spot. And then on top of it, he's got the president yelling at him. And I don't know how the guy sleeps.
And he's got mortgage delinquencies that they're trying to not confront, that the uptick, especially in the state of Illinois and other states that are run by incompetent fraud socialists, Sean, it's bad,
it gets
brother.
One step worse. It's one step worse than that. Here's this. Everybody needs to know. You're not paying your real estate tax. What happens to your house? It goes on the auction block, right? Because they want to get the municipalities. Nobody's buying them. So the people don't pay their real estate tax. They go on the auction block. Nobody wants to buy it because it's probably in a place near Beirut. But at the end of the day, that money never makes it back to the city or the state. Well, if you have your constituents going bankrupt, what's going to happen to you as a municipality? It's over.
You're going to have to raise, yeah.
Boy.
You're giving me ideas, though.
I'll tell you what, though, I don't want to. I'm
because I'm paying more of my property tax than the principal on my mortgage. I mean, think about it. And then all the people, it's ridiculous.
You know what Scott's trying to tell you without telling you? When mortgage rates are pushed this low, it is so that people can afford to carry debt and pay the taxes, which in most cases are going to be more than to carry the debt. If you buy a $300,000 house and you finance the whole thing, your payment's $1,100. But if your taxes are $9,900, your payment doubles.
Oh, I know.
So that's what they're trying to hide, and that's why Cook County is a disaster. A disaster.
And I wish it was better. And now Sean and I both have some friends in the circles that have these expensive homes, Jimmy, and I'm sure you do as well. But now, if they list their home for $3 million and they got a $100,000 tax bill, buyers are coming and saying, hey, if I'm going to live there for 10 years, that's going to be $1 million in tax, and it's probably going to go higher from there. I'm not going to give you more than $2 million for that house. So it's already affecting
all the homes that are $2 million or more in my neighborhood
sure.
are pinned on the market, and they will remain on the market.
And this is not the fault of
right.
this is not the fault of the socialists, Scott. He told you what he was doing. This is the fault of us who elected the guys with the toupees on their head that pretended to be Republicans the whole time, enriching themselves, specifically the guy from my neighborhood. That's exactly what happened here. And it isn't the guy who tells you he's wrong. It's the guy who tells you he knows it and he screws you in.
Well, I'll leave you with this, and you can't trust them. I mean, that's the problem. And no, who could you trust, right? That's stupid of me to say, but I mean, the things that I hear coming out of City Hall are mind-blowingly shattering, and I just don't know where it stops. It's like in a death spiral. The whole state and city is in a death spiral, and I now live in, as you well know, Northwest Indiana, and it's been a big beneficiary catching fish jumping out of the water into the boat over here because there's nothing really to be staying around Illinois for. And don't get me wrong, I have friends, family. We have a family farm in Illinois. What's farmland going to be worth if this thing goes where I think it's going? So we still have risk. So it's a problem, and they're not going to bail them out because everybody's going to get in line for that handout, right, Sean? I mean, I don't think they're going to bail this. Yeah,
I think they are going to bail them out. I think that's why Pritzker went in there. And here's the other thing: as you watch this nonsense with the strike, with the pensions, what side would you rather be on? Is there any question who's going to win this? They're going to get everything they want and more. And in the meantime, they're going after your family farm to pay for it. And that's why they brought in the king of Democrat Chicago corruption. He is definitely going to commit the rest of Illinois to bail out Chicago. There's not a question in my mind. I just hope he does it after we're all gone.
And it makes me sick, and it makes me sick. And look, they think that they can own everything, right? They think they can own the clean air. I want clean air. They think they can own green trees. I want green trees, right? I love the climate. Why do they get to own all these issues? And what's been happening is that, look, even with the teachers union striking, I can't believe it. I mean, if you ask me, I think that they should fire them all because you can't tell me for 4 years you go to university. You know, don't you think it's a great offer, Amy? I mean, do you think it's a great offer?
If you're making, my friend's making $72,000 right now, in 4 years she'll make $98,000. That is an amazing.
That's insane.
Offer.
And it's, so here's the deal. You tell me you go to college for 4 years to be a teacher, right? And you graduated last year. Are you shocked about what the pay is and what the benefits are and what you have to do? And go on strike over it? I don't get it. To me, it's like moving in next to an airport and complaining about airplane noise.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
And the bad guy in the story is the guy who makes slightly more than the teacher wants to make or is going to make, that wants to keep his money. He's the evil bad guy. But the teacher who makes exactly
you don't
the
like
same.
The kids. What about the kids?
It's just crazy, brother. Crazy.
I know, and we got that's so many problems. Anyway, I'm sorry. I got off.
I love it.
We love having you on. Have a great weekend, Scott Shalady, Fox Business News contributor and an all-around good guy. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
Online Trading Academy, it is the place to go to learn how you can trade in the markets. Maybe you could go there, Sean from Elmwood Park.
You know, the guy who founded this he's a nice guy. I remember him from the Merc. He worked on a desk. He used to run around with charts in his pocket. Really nice guy. But I should have obviously hung around with him because he's doing much better than a guy trying to fill in morning shows for Dan Proft who never takes a vacation.
Well, I went to one of their classes, and if you want to go to one, go to otaclass.com. I do believe that is the right website, otaclass.com. And what they do is they teach you how to make money off your own money. Don't let anybody else make money off of your retirement.
And don't cry when you lose. There's nothing worse than a moaner.
Right. Sell high.
Here's the idea.
Buy low.
You make sure the blue side, the buy side, is cheaper than the red side, the sell side. There you go.
Well,
Winner.
There's a lot more information than that. And if you call right now and go online to otaclass.com, sign up to get to go for yourself for 2 free classes. Not going. I mean, a pass for 2 to a free class. You would like it. And our instructor was great. He was very knowledgeable, and he's actually personable.
Yeah.
And you know what? He also does Second City on the weekends.
Really?
So there's a little bit of comedy involved, too.
Sure. Well, if you're going to lose your money, you might as well laugh while you're doing it. No, I'm kidding.
otaclass.com.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Imagine your son excited to go to school each day, a school area where he gets to throw snowballs and play tag, where his teachers understand that boys learn differently, and where he gets the one-on-one advice he needs to become a man of character. Dan Proft here for Northridge Prep. I have friends who send their sons there. 2 things they love. First, at Northridge Prep, every teacher is a role model. Through the advisory program, all students have a faculty mentor who looks out for your son like an older brother. They have regular conversations about being tough and generous and setting goals. Second, Northridge Prep's common sense approach to cell phones. Cell phones are powerful tools, but they don't belong in school. 0 distractions, 0 cell phones. My friends appreciate how much more social and outgoing their sons are at school. It's a paper and pen approach that just works. If you have a son in school, I urge you not to miss Northridge Prep's open house on Sunday, October 20th. Register online at northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Property managers, manufacturing, commercial, privately and locally owned companies looking for accountability from their alarm service provider. This message is for you.
Out-of-town national companies are struggling to provide service and support for your security and fire alarm system. You can do better with SMG Security. SMG Security is a local security service and fire alarm system provider with a mission to be the security industry leader in performance and customer satisfaction for the Chicagoland area. Concentration on local protection with a local UL central monitoring system delivers the ultimate protection for you, your employees, and property from theft, fire, and workplace violence. In many cases, SMG can detect issues before they become a major problem and are continually establishing new and improved industry standards and technology to keep your business safe and secure. Get a security solution based on your business budget and needs from SMG Security. And if you switch protection to SMG before the end of the month, you'll get 3 months of free service. Go to smgsecurity.com. smgsecurity.com.
This is Attorney Stephen Leahy, host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here on AM 560 every Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. Let me tell you about Bill. Bill's business slowed down and he fell behind on his taxes. Instead of filing his tax return, he decided to wait until he could pay. Well, 1 year turned to 2, turned to 3. Then the IRS threatened to contact his customers, take his house, his bank account, and his passport. Well, Bill hired me. We filed all of his tax returns and an appeal to slow the IRS down. Then we worked out an installment agreement based on how much he could pay, not on how much he owed. Now Bill can rely on the IRS protection plan. We will file his future tax returns and keep the IRS off his back so Bill can focus on growing his business. If you have questions about the IRS, you can get a copy of my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today, to learn the secrets of solving your IRS problem and save your business, your marriage, and your reputation. Call 312-664-6649 or go to freeirsbook.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Surely has been a fascinating morning. Sean Thompson filling in.
Think Propt is winning his Twister game?
I don't know.
I don't know how you keep scoring that game.
You know what? How did you keep? No, you won. If
I
you
only
didn't,
played it with cheerleaders.
You won if you didn't fall over.
Oh, really? I
That was
falling
it. Or
over winning
if you
with
got-
cheerleaders.
Stop it. If you got off your mark,
Yeah.
then you'd lose and you'd be kicked out. But then
Ooh,
when there was
Misty,
just,
you lost again. Go ahead.
what would you do? There are two people. I'm trying to think. Yeah.
I'm guessing Proft has at least 2 foursomes on that Twister, man.
Dan Proft will be back here on Monday, but I told him, like, how can I miss you if you never go away? Because he's always here.
Really?
He never goes on vacation.
Well, I guess if he wanted to not work, he'd go work for the city.
Exactly. Anything else you want to say there, Sean, before we
I've had
leave?
a great time. Sunday show, I think I'll be live if I'm still alive after I get home. And that's it. I don't know when I'm filling in for 5 to 7 show, Slap and Tickle Chicago Drive Time. I'll keep you posted.
Tickle. That's the greatest. You came up with that yourself, right?
Right on the fly.
Slap for slapping down.
Slap down propaganda, and we have a good time doing it. I don't know where your mind is, but mine is slap and tickle.
Okay.
Slap the propaganda.
Still don't know how you got such beautiful daughters, kid.
I know.
I
Wife
just
is
don't
hot.
know.
Wife is hot. She was the
You're
hottest
blessed.
girl in the neighborhood.
You
She
are
really was.
blessed.
All right, now here is.
Bad
Everybody
judgment of
have a great
mine.
weekend. Thanks to Justin Kosick and Quinn McCarthy, who is Sean's stylist, that's for sure.
Oh, nice.
Now here is Mike Scott.
Temperatures are falling across the state this morning. Negotiations continuing between CTU and the city as another school threatens a strike. Illinois governor